You are listening to a Dynamicworksproductions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, and gamer, Tim K. Trotter. Joining me in the second seat, as always, the co-hostiest of hosts.
The West Coastiest.
Yeah,
yes.
The West Coastiest. I mean, I guess I consider myself more West Coast, but whatever. And then
I think
joining
I'm closer
us...
to the beach than you are, damn it.
Debatable. Debatable. And then joining us, you can already hear him laughing, the one, the only, one of the original founding members of the Fork in Your Ear podcast, the one and only Damian Newman.
Hello, hello. What's
Hello.
going on?
Been a
Yeah,
long
we're going
time.
old to new here.
Yeah, man. I got my glass of cognac here. And,
Okay.
Happy to be back.
Yeah, it's been a long time since you've been on the show. We've gamed and we've watched Game Awards and we've hung out and texted and tweeted all kinds of shit for shit.
Mm-hmm.
When was the actual last time we were on a show together, Dame?
Yeah, man. It's been a while. I want to say
was Mike
at
here?
Least, either Mike may have been on, or this was right around when me and KB used to do the Crucible section.
I mean, that was before Fork.
That was before Fork. So yeah, you're right.
That was
I know you've been
7
on
years
when
ago.
I was a listener. So
Yeah.
it might have been one of those Mike couldn't make it that night.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been.
So
Could have been.
So long ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
so
enough.
long ago. COVID screwed this up. I actually was supposed to come out to Seattle. Remember, because I texted you. I was about to come
Yeah,
up.
we were gonna meet up. We were gonna
Yeah.
clink a glass of Yukon Jack because you're my fellow Yukon Jack drinker.
Yeah.
And
COVID
and then COVID happened.
screwed it all up, man.
Yeah, screws
But
everything up.
I'm planning to make another trip out there, or
Yeah.
make a trip out there.
Yeah, you gotta, man. You gotta.
Yeah.
Fucking hit me up.
you'll have to coordinate with me. It's not far for me to get up there as well. We'll all clink
Oh,
some
nice.
Yeah,
clink some cognac.
Nate's down in
Cool.
LA.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
and
cool.
actually,
actually, my favorite stout brewery is there by the name of Fremont. I love Fremont Brewery.
Yep.
Where is wait, where is
I think
Fremont?
he's talking about me.
Yeah.
He's not talking
Oh,
about
okay.
you, Nate.
Now, but in California, I love the brewery. Love the brewery.
Oh, so good.
People come down here for Disney, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, we got one of the original main man back on the Forkcast because only a seismic shift in the gaming industry could bring Dame back on the show.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to have him on for the Game Awards, and he was like, "Yeah,
That's
I'm
true.
all on board for this."
Yeah.
Deuces, I'm
Exactly,
out.
Yeah. I think me and my girl was doing something. I'm like, I can't make it, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I heard. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all
It was
good.
quite amusing.
The show was incredible. Though. I heard it. Really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and this one could be the first one that actually has some YouTube clips on it, because Tim and I are both.
You fucking bitch! How dare you call me Timmy on my own show?
I'm sorry. It slipped out.
My ass had slipped out.
But yeah, we're both we're actually doing video, because for once Tim has a computer that can actually handle that, and it won't shit the bed doing video and
that's also true.
Logic at the same time.
That's also true. Yeah, just got
I think that was it one time we were doing an episode and I hit the video button. You're like, you just screwed up my entire audio file.
Wow.
Yeah, because like we were saying pre-show, Dame, you know, I used to record on at the time, maxed out 2012 MacBook Pro, 32 gigs RAM, all that shit. And I'd be running Skype and Logic and a program that's unfortunately now depreciated called Call Recorder. And if Nate accidentally bumped the video button, Logic would seize up, everything would freeze up on the computer. I'm like, everything's fucked. How dare you?
Nope.
It just couldn't handle it. It was like,
it was just one of those things we were talking. I'm like, God, like my hair is doing a wild thing today. He goes, oh man. I'm like, oh, here, let me show you. And he's like, no, click. I clicked the button. I was like, damn it.
It's like, you can't do that, man. That laptop just couldn't. You know, them Intel processors can't really handle a lot of things at once.
It's seen its day.
Yes, it has.
I guess I get that for the name slip, right? You got to take your jab at Intel.
Sure, yeah. I am gonna take my jab at your Intel, while my gaming PC over here is all AMD.
I actually happen to like their i series. I like the 7. Actually, my work computer is i9.
Okay.
i9 10th gen.
Yeah.
That's my gaming rig's an i9 10th.
There's nothing wrong with a power hog, well-established chip design. Nothing wrong with it at all. You can't see this, folks, because we're on video, but Nate's he's just shoving
Tim's
his
number one.
middle
Tim's
finger
number one.
as far into the camera as he can get.
Right.
But anyway, you reached out to me when this gaming event happened, and you're like, when are we doing the fucking show, dude? Like, I'm ready. Let's do it. So let's jump into this huge gaming news that Microsoft has dropped $68 billion.
Billion.
Yeah, billion with a B. To purchase Activision Blizzard, like wholesale, in cash. I might add,
in cash,
which is insane.
And that was just half the cash that they had on hand.
Right?
Think of it, that's half the cash.
Like, there's just, it's like, shit, it's burning a hole in our Scrooge McDuck money bin. Let's throw it at something, And it's been 2 weeks since the announcement, and I've listened to and watched tons of introspective and informative interviews with game developers, interviews with the union that was forming up for Activision Blizzard employees, Hogue Law articles about what exactly was going on with the deal, what was exactly in the contract. And it looks like it was just kind of this perfect storm of all of the shit that was going on with Activision Blizzard, Bobby Kotick fucking up royally, people going on strike, people leaving their jobs, people mad about QA testers getting fired for no reason. And, their stock was super devalued back when this was approached to Microsoft. And that's the thing. That's the thing that people don't understand. This was thrown out by Bobby Kotick and Activision, approved by the board, to ask Microsoft, are you willing to purchase us? back. I believe the documents for the that Hogue Law stated in the sales article was November 2nd was when this was on the table. And I think what's interesting about that is how did that not leak? You know, because we heard the Bethesda rumors for what, 8 months before they dropped the hammer on that publicly. You know, and here we are just 2 months later, and it's like, oh wow, they fired the trigger on that. Like the amount of moving parts for that, 68 billion, you know, and Activision Blizzard is considered one of the big three publishers. Now, I know financially, you know, I put some stuff up in this Discord actually just before we went up on the show here that showed some sales values, some who owns what of what. Tencent actually is a larger game publisher than Activision Blizzard by far. Actually,
I think Tencent's number one.
Yes, it is number one.
It is Sony.
Yeah, 100%.
By quite a bit too.
Yeah,
but you know,
and Sony, I think.
Yeah, but then in our American spheres here, you know, everybody talks about the big three, and it's EA, Ubisoft, and Activision Blizzard are the big three. You know, and then, you know, distant seconds, you know, you had Take-Two, you had Bethesda, you know, you had, oh god, what was some of the other things? I don't have my own fucking chart that I sent pulled up.
I'm actually shocked that Take-Two isn't further along, because GTA just prints money. I mean,
yeah, whether it works or not. The trilogy,
like,
holy shit.
Like, where are we at? We're in, what is it, 2022? That game came out in 2013, and every month of those years, it's been in the top 10.
And there's
every month.
Still gonna be another GTA 5 HD port up-res, whatever the fuck it is, because that's coming in spring, right?
Yeah.
Because that was announced back at E3.
I want to say either May or July, one of those 2 months, for whatever reason, sticks in my mind for when that's coming.
Yeah. So in terms of corporations, I've got my own chart pulled up here. So Tencent is by far the biggest, followed by Sony, now Microsoft, then NetEase, then we've got Nintendo, then EA is a tiny bit bigger than Nintendo. Epic is small, but they do a fuck ton of money.
Small but mighty.
You got Take-Two, you got Nexon, which everybody fucking forgets about. Because they do a lot of stuff on PC and mobile and stuff. And then you've got Embracer Group, which has a lot of good stuff in it, from Gearbox to Deep Silver. You've got, let's see who else is in here. You've got, oh my god, what's stuff in here?
I feel like THQ should be in here. They put a lot of different.
3D Realms. You've got Aspire is an Embracer Group. You know, they're doing the new KOTOR or remake. You know, and then below that, you've got Sega, which by capital is actually doing a little bit more than Ubisoft, which is quite surprising. But remember, they're not really Sega anymore. They're Sega Sammy.
Right.
You know, and they've got stuff in there like Creative Assembly. They've got R&D studios. Everybody forgets that they've got Relic Entertainment, just pumping out great RTS after great RTS. And then, of course, they have Atlas. So they got all of them JRPGs wrapped up there. Of course, you know, you've got Sonic, and then you've got little guys doing huge money. You've got Hardlight out there doing every fucking phone version of Sonic and Monkey Ball and shit you can imagine. I think they're out of Australia, and I think they've actually they've multiplied their studio multiple times. I think they have one in Australia, and they have one in the UK, and then they got another in San Francisco, and you know, and they're just printing money with mobile stuff. So, you know, when you look at the scheme of things there, you know, like Microsoft
and Dave, just for reference, THQ is actually part of the Embracer Group.
Ah, okay, I got you.
Thank you for looking that up. I didn't see it in my own chart.
It's there. It's very, very tiny in the chart.
I know THQ over the last few months have been just buying up public developers.
Because wasn't it? It was like THQ, then it was THQ Nordic. They merged with somebody that had a lot more money. And then they started just gobbling up teams.
Yeah,
it was Embracer.
THQ Nordic's the only one that's listed here.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So one that I was that I noticed is absent, and I noticed this I'm surprised you didn't find something that had it. The number 4 that Microsoft just overtook in between NetEase was Apple Gaming.
Sure.
In terms of revenue.
Yeah. I mean,
Which that one shocked me because I saw the list. I'm like, Microsoft just passed Apple in gaming. I'm like, well, that couldn't have been hard.
Well, I mean, I think
I always throw shade at Tim for Apple gaming because again, I'm not in the Apple ecosystem, so it's not on my mind. But apparently, I'm wrong. Clip it. I'm wrong.
I believe. I want to say because they actually just had their financial calls a week ago, and gaming for Apple across all devices, iOS, Mac, watch, anything that's got a fucking screen now, accounted for $182 billion in revenue for them.
It's crazy.
And that was for the last quarter, by the way.
That's insane.
Like,
that is insane.
So if Microsoft overtook that, that's good. That's good in my opinion. I think that's healthy competition, and that's actually a good way to segue to that. Something that Hoglaw brought up was that is the specific reason why antitrust in America is not going to fight Microsoft on this purchase, because in the purchase documents they state we're buying this to be competitive with Apple and Amazon and Google.
It's good lawyers.
Sony's not mentioned, Nintendo's not mentioned, that are big to us in our mind share. But at the end of the day, on the numbers, that's who it is. And you talk that to an antitrust person, of which, Hoglaw deals with corporate laws and all this stuff. And he's just like, yeah, they're gonna be like, okay. We're not even gonna bat an eye in comparison to how complicated it was for Bethesda, even though they're smaller. It's because their documents were, for lack of a better term, shittier. And now that they test run it and they went through all the shit, because remember they had to make a new corporation in the UK specifically for their antitrust stuff to handle just the Bethesda stuff for Microsoft. Wow. Which they called Vault-Tec, hilariously. And that was something people forget about, because that's something you're not going to hear it here in the US. It's just like, oh, no, they had to make a fucking another corporation just so that they could have their assets handled internationally, essentially. So.
And then there's also been that misconception going around that EA is part of Microsoft because of the Game Pass tie-in, but they're not.
Yep.
It's still third party.
That's just EA doing good business.
If EA goes off the board, it's over. It's over.
Could you imagine? Like, I mean, Ubisoft would be like, well, fuck, we're next.
Yeah.
Because they've already fought what? They fought corporate takeovers. They fought other people purchasing stuff. They bought back stuff. They had their whole thing, like, what was it, a decade ago with Vendetti? Fuck, I can't say that. Vendetti Universal, when they had a games division. But then Activision bought Vendetti Universal, which is why now Crash Bandicoot and fucking Spyro are now going to be Microsoft properties. It's just insane.
Yeah, that's irony. Yeah. That's irony.
So I mean, let's take the temperature. I feel like that's a pretty good chunk of data just to talk about all that stuff right off the rip here in the show. What's your temperature on it, Nate? Like, do you feel this is a good thing, bad thing, thoughts? And Dame, I know you play all the consoles. How do you feel about this? Is this Microsoft monopoly, blah blah blah, or is this like a win for gamers, or is it ultimately, as some would say, this is potentially a win for the employees and the franchises, potentially, obviously. Right. So, what you guys thinking?
Well, you pretty much illustrated what I was, one of the big things that I was fearful of, but I'm gonna get to that later. So I think I've been going over this. I actually went over this earlier today before we got on the podcast. Is this a good thing for gamers short term, but bad long term? Okay. I think if you look at it, all depends on where you look at it. You know, if you're
Sure.
looking at it as a person who has Game Pass, you're probably doing backflips right now. Cartwheels, everything. You go, you know, like for $14 a month, Game Pass
All
Ultimate.
three of us have Game Pass, do we not?
Right.
Did you when you heard that news, were you just like, ooh? Did you?
So, give just like the jinglies and the jinglies.
Yeah, you know. So like when I heard it, I was like, okay. Literally the first thing that hit my mind, even because I don't play Call of Duty anymore.
Sure.
I was thinking, okay, this will be perfect for the Diablos of the world. Like Diablo will be perfect for a Game Pass game.
Sure.
You can play it on the go. It's easy accessible. You can play with friends.
Well, I mean, there's still Diablo Immortal. That's still a thing.
That too. Yep, that's the mobile. Yep. So like that's perfect. But
yeah,
what I fear of is a monopolistic industry where Sony is going to get to a point and feel as if they need to run and do acquisitions because
sure,
you already lost Bethesda, we've lost, you know, Activision, you got EA out there, you got Ubisoft, but that's what I don't want them to do. I don't think they need to do that because they have their own race and their own thing that they're really good at.
Sure.
Me personally, I think they should just double down on what they're really good at and make quality first party cinematic open world games. That is their bread and butter. That's their holy grail.
Well, I mean, I would say, you know, a lot of people would pigeonhole Sony Entertainment Studios, I believe it's now called, as, you know, they're good at third-person action, and they've got 2 studios that can do really good open world.
Right.
You know, and I'm aware that, well, actually, no, I take that back. Three studios for sure are really good at open world games. With Days Gone obviously being a 4th kind of hit or miss depending on who you are as a person.
I'm a little iffy on that case.
That's exactly why I said
it. Yeah, you know. It's wild though because yesterday, last night before last,
yeah,
me and my girlfriend, we were talking because I told her I was doing a podcast tonight, and
well, hang on. How much did you have to fight with her to get this time?
Oh, you know what? Actually, it's like she was like, I said it's at midnight because he's on the West Coast. She's like, okay, I'm cool.
Oh, really?
Like, I was like, oh, that's when I texted you. Like, I got the okay. Like,
was it okay cool or was that if you want?
Ooh. No, it was actually okay. It was actually okay cool. It's actually okay cool.
Okay, cool.
And I think what kind of did it was that night we were talking about gaming.
Okay. Is your girlfriend a gamer?
Oh, no. She isn't.
Okay.
But I think she if she'll sit there, if I could get her to sit there and watch me play certain games,
sure,
she will engage. This is what happened.
Okay.
We were watching something on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the Uncharted preview came on, and I was telling her, I have reservations about this movie.
You and me both. We have the same fucking reservations, Dave.
Right. And I'm like, granted, I love Tom Holland, but everything.
Ain't no Nathan Drake.
I mean, it just seems wrong, man. Like, so, but that's another topic for another day. So I told her about that, but then I showed her because I had Uncharted gameplay on my YouTube channel. So I showed her Uncharted 4 that I had.
Yeah.
And she's watching it, and she was like, "Okay, this is cool." But then, because we were on Naughty Dog, I showed her The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, like the opening scene is like 10 minutes before you 15 minutes before you even start gameplay in that. And so she's watching it.
Yeah.
And she's and it's like she's into because she loves zombie movies, zombie shows. So that grabbed her attention right there. Post-apocalyptic world. So she's watching the gameplay footage. Now, mind you, I think I showed the first hour and 15. And so it's late, and so we go to bed. I get up, go to work. when I came back yesterday, she said, I sat there and watched the rest of that. Now, mind you, Tim, we stopped at like as soon as it gets to the part where you can control Ellie and you're going into town.
Yeah.
And at that point, so that's only 15 minutes in.
Sure.
She watched the whole hour after.
Yeah.
Okay. And the power of Naughty Dog and how sophisticated they are, I think, brought her into that. But I said it to say this: that's what Sony's good at. That's what That's what I feel like Sony needs to double down on and run their race and not be a prisoner of the moment, not run out and grab acquisitions. And I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be, I think they're going to be good. I just hope it doesn't go to a monopolistic approach where, it's just one world order and Microsoft just rules the world.
Well, and that's one of the biggest fears and why people are bringing up the whole antitrust thing is, you've got these current games that are out there that, Microsoft says we're going to honor existing contracts and keep them cross-platform. But the fear is, these big titles, Call of Duties, etc., will become exclusive to, Xbox and Xbox Game Pass. And that's where I guess the fear is everyone was, well, you're going to take all the games away from us and all these exclusive, which is, I find funny coming from the PlayStation crowd because that has been their bread and butter, was having these exclusive titles that made you come to the platform, or even if it wasn't an exclusive title, exclusivity to, 1 month, 3 month, 6 month preview, or, in the case of Destiny, you had an entire year where parts of the game were unavailable.
Right.
So for that crowd to turn around and go, well, they're going to take Call of Duty away from us, makes me, giddy laugh, Xbox fanboy go, haha, that's what you've been doing this entire time. Eat it, suck it for a while. But I know, like, the realist to me says that was bad for the industry then. It's still bad for the industry now.
Right. Do you think Phil and the rest of the team is going to honor that until? Because I feel personally, I think that Warzone, you keep that free to play. You're not losing or gaining anything as it is anyway. Because it's free to play. Get your money on the back end with microtransactions.
Yeah, I'm sure there's compromises that can be made.
Right. But I do think that eventually, 2024, you're going to see Call of Duty exclusively on Xbox. If that happens, that's a lot of money left on the table. That's why I see both sides. It is a 50-50 coin. But
well, and that's going to depend on a few things. My big one that's coming out is if Diablo comes out exclusive to Xbox. That's going to hurt a lot of people. Now, I'm pretty sure, because that would be leaving a ton of money on the table. It will come to PC as well, right, via Game Pass.
I think Diablo wouldn't hurt him as much as COD, though. COD is going, that's a death blow. That's a death blow.
Sure.
I think they might go for that, though. I think they might go for that and then go, well, but look, we're going to give you Diablo, or we're going to make it available via a streaming service everywhere. But again, that's, and again, you could get away with that with Diablo because it's not going to be so ping dependent.
Right. What do you think the difference would be between this situation and like Minecraft? Minecraft is everywhere.
Right. But again, Minecraft isn't ping dependent and it's making its money on microtransactions, which all feed back into the kitty no matter where you.
I would argue they're making the bulk of their money in servers specifically for Minecraft. But yeah, it's got a lot of microtransactions, sure. I think, and I've been pretty vocal about this on Twitter, actually, because Dame keeps bringing it up. Here's how I see things hypothetically playing out. If I were Phil Spencer, I think you honor the Call of Duty first on PlayStation exclusivity contract that PlayStation has with Activision Blizzard that's in effect until the end of 2023. The end of 2023, I think you have Warzone and, you know, whatever else previously existed on Call of Duty. That's what exists on PlayStation. The next main Call of Duty is Xbox PC exclusive. And
time limited or permanently?
I think permanently. Because I think, you know, right now, because of the last generation with PS4 being dominant last generation, in comparison to Xbox, because we all know the secret real winner in this room is Nintendo.
Yeah. King of first party.
Pretty fucking undeniable.
King of first party.
You know, they just outsold, what was it, the Game Boy Advance and the PlayStation 1 in lifetime sales.
Yep.
And it's not stopping. It's not stopping at all.
I now own two of them.
They may pass the Wii.
You bought a second Switch, Nate?
Well, no, Ian bought one.
Oh, your brother-in-law. Okay, fair enough. So I think I have a strong suspicion that one or two things will happen alternately with Call of Duty. I think what I said is probably a pretty safe bet for that's how it's going to go, because that's how we've seen the Bethesda stuff go. Anything that's multi-platform or cross-platform, like Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76, those are staying because they're, you know, multiplayer and more people play together. You know, no skin aside from development cost off of Microsoft's back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Elder Scrolls 6, you know, if they ever do another Prey, or, you know, obviously Deathloop is coming. Starfield obviously will be exclusive, you know, and future stuff, you know. I think there's a strong possibility that in a Microsoft-owned future, the next exclusive Call of Duty will be a platform Call of Duty. It'll be a games as service type situation, very much akin to how we now have Halo Infinite is now that platform for the next 10 years of Halo. And I think what I see with Call of Duty as being successful is Call of Duty Mobile. Like, if you're like, oh no, they're never going to make a platform Call of Duty Mobile is a platform Call of Duty. Mixed maps, mixed modes, mixed stuff. They rotate things in and out. I know this because I played it for a fucking year. Right. And I don't play Call of Duty, but I was like, this plays goddamn good with my thumbs on the phone if I want to take a dump and shoot some people.
It works. It really works.
And so, you know, I think you're going to get Call of Duty Mobile ported over to Switch. I think you're going to get a big AAA Call of Duty that's a platform like that. There's no reason with Call of Duty's lineage and just sheer numbers it does year after year, because, you know, sorry listeners, some of you are idiots for pumping your money down on the same fucking thing, you know? And I mean that with no disrespect, you know. If, you know, me who likes variety gaming, you know, and spends my money on various games over the year, you know, if that's your thing for gaming is, you know, your Call of Duty and your Madden and, you know, maybe a little Candy Crush on the side, I guess, you know, if that's your gaming, like that is what you do, you know, okay, fine. That's what you like.
I mean, one could even, to a certain extent, argue Forza Gran Turismo as well.
Oh yeah,
sure. Because there's a Forza every year, ain't there?
Right. And
you know, you're not wrong.
Other than maybe this year, it's been basically the same game.
You know what? I played maybe 10 minutes of Forza 5 because everyone put it up as 10 out of 10s, 5 out of 5s. I played the first 15 minutes. I was like, yep, this ain't for me. This ain't it.
You need to get in a milk van race with me and Tim.
Oh my God. Do you know about this, Dame?
Oh, what a milk van race.
So Forza Horizon 5 had just come out, and obviously it was the new hotness and breaking records and all kinds of shit and Game Pass and everything. Mm-hmm. And we did a show because I like racing games. Even though I'm not a car person in real life, like I love racing games.
Myself too. Yeah.
No, yeah, there you go. And so we were just like, I was like, well, I got it on Game Pass on my Series X, and you're like, well, I got it on Game Pass on my PC. You're like, we've been talking about it all podcast. Fuck it, let's do it. You know, and so we raced around after we figured out how the fuck to get that working between PC and Xbox, because it wasn't exactly 100% smooth. Once we figured it out, it was smooth, but there should have been like a button.
Right.
And not some sub menus for that, if I'm saying, you know.
But we played all the game modes, but we were like,
we did
pick the best car, and it's like, all right, you know,
and then Nate,
let's make it fair.
Yeah, and then Nate was in charge, and so he put us in a Ford 1972.
1968.
Oh, further back,
Ford delivery van.
Ford delivery van.
Astro van? The white Astro
No,
van?
no, not the
worse
Astro
than
van.
that.
No, that's what I drive in real life for work, Dame. Not even a joke.
But yeah, like you understand the tier ratings, right? Like, you know, S tier, A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
This was a D level, like 13.
It topped out at, what was it, 48 miles an hour?
Going downhill.
Yeah, going downhill. And we were doing these stupid fucking streets on the side of a hill. And
imagine doing the Barcelona bull run.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm trying to fucking pit maneuver him at like 35 miles an hour with this van. We were dying.
Oh my god.
I was literally in tears halfway through the second lap.
Hilarious. Absolutely hysterical. So yeah, I don't know how the fuck we got onto Horizon.
Oh, yeah, same shit, different year.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, same shit, different year.
Yeah,
sure. You know,
I mean, but why would they stop? Because everybody, they make so much. EA makes so much money off of FIFA Ultimate Team and Madden Ultimate Team. They would never stop making FIFA and Madden.
Yeah,
never.
You know, well, and you know, and then here's the question too: if Call of Duty is such a cash cow, and obviously, you know, numbers wise, Microsoft wouldn't want to stop that, and we know they have 3 major teams that work on Call of Duty, and they just rotate year on, year off, and then they've absorbed other teams that are crazy talented, like Vicarious Visions and Raven Software, and High Moon Studios, into just being Call of Duty fucking support studios, which is fucking criminal, in my opinion. You know, High Moon coming in with the best Transformers games ever fucking made. You know, Raven has a huge history, starting as a fucking, I think they originally started as they were a Quake mod team, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and then they've done, you know, they had their own stake in a Wolfenstein game, and they were the ones who touched Quake 4, and, you know, and while those weren't like 100% winners, like they had a lot of creativity behind there. And then also, let's not forget that Raven Software made the greatest Wolverine game ever made so far. Yeah, that obviously
pretty solid.
It was fucking based on a movie, yet the game was fucking R-rated and fucking cool. And it was like, what? Because the movie's garbage in comparison to that game. Like, holy shit, you know? And so it's like, there's a lot of talent there. And then Vicarious Visions, you know, who's pumped out various Tony Hawk's, Spider-Man games. Just
okay, so they did do the Spider-Man. I couldn't remember who did them after Treyarch, because Treyarch had the original.
No, the original, the 90s one, Dame?
No, I'm talking about the PS2 ones, the Spider-Man movie one, Spider-Man 2. Was that
those were Treyarch?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, which is now
the original ones. Yeah,
so before that, it was Neversoft and Vicarious Visions, and then Neversoft folded, and some of them left to Vicarious Visions, if I'm not mistaken.
Didn't they work on the original Tony Hawk?
Yeah, it was Neversoft and Vicarious Visions doing Tony Hawk.
Okay.
And Vicarious Visions also did all the weird ones too for Tony Hawk. I remember the Game Boy Advance Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 with its weird isometric 3D. Fucking, I was like, what the fuck? This is amazing on Game Boy Advance. You know?
One for the N-Gage too. Remember Nokia came out with that gaming phone? Shit.
The taco.
Right.
Wow.
Oh shit!
It's fucking
It actually
topic.
had a pretty good lineup. It had Tony Hawk, it had Tomb Raider.
It had Tony Hawk, Tomb Raider. It had a port of the Neo Geo Pocket
Yep.
Sonic Adventure Pocket game. And I only know that because I have a fucking Neo Geo Pocket because I'm a fucking Sonic nerd. No, they had a solid lineup, but who wanted to play that with a D-pad and a T9? You know, what were you fucking thinking? Jesus. Oh, they also had like an abbreviated Splinter Cell 1 too.
They did
on that shit. Remember that shit? Oh my god.
They did.
Fuck.
I remember the commercial for it. That's what was pushing it. That Tomb Raider.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, that's so cool. And then you fucking touch the thing at GameStop, and you're like, what?
Ew.
Absolutely. Holy shit. But anyway, I was getting back to the thing about siloing the Call of Duty developers, right? We know they're just pounded for work, 100%. Right. And I feel like the proper questions in Microsoft's position taking over here is, do you keep the existing siloed off Call of Duty workhorse cycle in place for the purpose of profits? Or do you let those studios choose what they wish to do? Or third option, going back to my Call of Duty as a platform thing, because if it's platform, you know, you're just working on you're basically working on modules, right? It's like, all right, this team does a couple maps, cool, they go off, do something else. All right, this team, you know, does a level or two for a campaign. Okay, cool, they go off, do something else. You know, is that a solution to hypothetical? Because we don't know for sure, because fucking Activision Blizzard has walled off the communication with those fucking developers like goddamn prison guards. You know, like, are they, as the top tier developers that they are they ridiculously overworked and they never want to fucking touch a Call of Duty game if, you know, you had a gun to their family? You know, like what, you know, because those teams have a lot of potential talent and they have a lot of history of doing unique things. You know, and then the other question there that I'm sure is probably going to be an investigative thing, and we're not going to know for a couple of years, is, you know, were the people who were creative in those teams and things that have been absorbed into the Call of Duty engine, are the people who were those creatives, are they still there? And they're just sad, eating jelly beans from underneath their desk, sleeping in. I don't know. You know, it all remains to be seen. You know. You know, and then obviously, you know, moving away from Call of Duty, you know, Activision has a bunch of platformers, and now Microsoft potentially owns what? Every fucking platformer apart from Nintendo, Sonic and Mario? Like, damn. Like, that's insane. And, you know, everybody in the dog on the internet has made this comment, but I agree with them. You know, we have, it was Vicarious Visions and Toys for Bob did the Spyro Reignited trilogy and the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. And then Toys for Bob did, by all accounts, I haven't played it, a fantastic Crash Bandicoot 4. And it's like, you've got teams that understand the old, practically dying art of what makes a good platformer. And it's like, yo, and then they recently got absorbed into Call of Duty stuff. No, you stop that now. You put them back on the thing. Because the other thing I think Microsoft is looking at is this gives them a bunch of family games. You know, because Microsoft was very supportive of the Skylanders franchise, you know. And the thing that I saw going around on Reddit, which is hilariously well timed, was, and even though this goes back to when Universal Vendetti owned Crash Bandicoot, was I think it was the other Crash Bandicoot 4, Wrath of Cortex, I think it was called. And it was the first time it was on GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. And there's a paper ad from like an old EGM or something. And it was Crash Bandicoot, the dude in the suit, at a tattoo parlor getting Xbox on the side of his shoulder. And it was like, Crash is in for a whole new world or something, like something terribly early 2000s. And it's just like, well, that's appropriate now. let's pull that ad back out of the fucking.
But so you see, Aaron Greenberg has been catching flack over the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
When him posing, yeah, because he has. So his profile pic is him doing the X symbol with Crash
Oh
doing the X symbol, like right after the merger just happened.
Wow.
He's been getting heavy backlash.
That's
like if you go
funny.
on Twitter right now, like people are pissed.
Yeah, you know.
Most of PlayStation fanboys are pissed, but like people are
Well,
pissed.
I mean, here's the thing. Like
the fanboys are definitely pissed.
I understand the fanboys are pissed that Microsoft / Xbox will potentially own Spyro and Crash Bandicoot by the end of the year. You know, but at the same time, Spyro and Crash Bandicoot ain't been a PlayStation franchise since fucking 2000.
And like even
You
if
know?
you're a PlayStation fan, you know, like my preference of consoles is Sony, is PlayStation. But like, so we just had the conversation of what Naughty Dog is doing now. Do you really want them to go back and do a Crash game if they had the IP? Like, no, you're not looking for nothing, especially to see where they've come from Crash
Sure.
to The Last of Us.
No. I mean, I'll be honest though. If they ever did a Jack and Daxter 4, I would be all about that life. I'm just saying.
You in there?
It's never gonna happen, but just saying.
I mean, I do like the nod that they gave you in Uncharted 4, where they let you play the original Crash.
Sure. Well, doesn't that beg the question now? Does that have to get pulled from Uncharted 4 now? Because that game is specifically owned by fucking Microsoft now.
Owned by Microsoft now. I mean,
because if you look at the credits for Uncharted 4, courtesy Activision Blizzard, you know.
Like, I would, crazy. I would keep it in good faith because they have MLB, the show, on their platform now.
True, but we all know that wasn't Sony's call. That was MLB saying, "Fuck you, put it everywhere."
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then Xbox had the audacity to have, oh yeah, we've also got Game Pass ads running in the game on the PlayStation version. Suck it. Like, it's insane. You know?
Well, and I guess the big that I think will decide whether things go exclusive or stay cross-platform is, of course, can we scale up console manufacturing and actually get Series X's and Series S's into people's homes and PS5s in people's homes?
So I personally see Series S's all the time.
Yeah, S's are everywhere.
Sure. Yeah, X's less so, and I ain't never seen a fucking PS5 in the wild.
Yeah, like the only reason how I got my nephews was because I just so happened to look at my email and Sony's like, "Hey, we invited you to register to pre-order PS5."
Yeah, fuck you, Sony. Invite you to register. Do you know how many times I filled out that form, Dame, on both my PSN profile and my wife's?
You know what I think they go by? I think they go by that whatever that new trophy ranking system. That this is just totally
the thing that we don't have on PS4.
Yeah, like
I'm sorry, I can't hear you down here from the PlayStation 4 gutter, Mr. PS5.
No, they changed it. They changed it. Like, so, like it used to be like in the double digits where your ranking of 13, 14, 15 by your trophies. Now it's like 300, level 360.
Yeah.
Oh, some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I think they look at those and say, okay, these are our core players. Let's reach out to them and get them to come to our ecosystem as we go to the next generation.
All right. All right. Let's settle this. I'm logging into my PSN profile right now. How many fucking trophies do you have? I'm gonna look right now. Where are my fucking trophies?
Let's see. We got.
Wait, do they have trophies on the PS on the app on the phone?
Yeah, they go.
They should. Where the fuck is it?
Yeah, they do.
Well, while you two are doing a zip that, I got to refill my drink.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, not there. It's not there. Where the fuck is it? I could have swore it's in the app too.
Yeah, you gotta click on your when you're at the home page, just click on your name. Tap on your name.
Oh, okay.
Right
yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, so I have Oh, that's actually pretty sad. Apparently, I only have one platinum trophy. That is sad.
That is.
I know exactly which one it is too. It's Infamous Second Son.
Shame on you.
It's Infamous Second Son.
Shame on you.
So I've got one.
You didn't get one for Destiny? You didn't get a platinum for Destiny?
No, fuck no.
What?
All right, I'm back. Who's got the bigger EPing?
We're figuring it out right now. I've said 3 numbers and he's already shocked.
I can't believe you didn't get a platinum for Destiny.
Okay, so I have a total of 2,217 trophies. I'm a level 263. I have 86%, whatever the fuck that is. Probably the next level.
Yeah, you're getting close.
I've got 1 platinum. I got 73 golds, 311 silvers, and then 1,832 bronze trophies. All right, what do you got? What do you got, Dame?
All right, I'm at 3,613 trophies.
Okay.
I'm a level 322.
Okay.
I have 13 platinums.
Okay.
171 gold trophies.
Damn. Okay.
642 silver trophies.
Okay.
And 2,787 bronze trophies.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So me at my lowly 263 level, do you think I'm deserving of fucking Sony's shitty algorithm to grace me with purchasing a PS5?
Well, I think everyone who's registered as a PSN is worthy of having a PS5. That's the most.
Oh, what a get out of jail free card answer! What a get out of jail.
But he's not wrong.
That is the most.
No,
Jim
he's
Ryan.
not wrong.
That's the most Jim Ryan response I can come up with.
Well, I'm playing the new Ratchet and Clank.
Back to the point there. Like once console availability becomes a thing, I think that will be a bigger push towards starting to see those cross-platform titles go exclusive, because I'm like right now, if they put Call of Duty on Xbox Series X only, they're pissing away money.
Oh sure,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If they were smart, Phil, what I would do is I would take up Tim's idea and say, hey, we're going to make a new Call of Duty next year. It's just going to be called Call of Duty. We're going to make it a platform games of service. And we're going to incorporate new content. Like we're going to pull it Destiny style. We're going to give you a little mini DLC, every season, but give you the big shit, like the Forsaken or the Witch Queen. We're going to see that
you
shit.
get your single player campaign every year.
Every year.
Why not?
But you also have Halo. So we're going to, like, if you have a Call of Duty one year and then drop big shit with Halo another, and just rotate that around.
That is true. You're not wrong, Name. Because Halo, everybody always forgets, Halo is a giant in the first-person shield. It did insane numbers. Not Call of Duty numbers, mind you, but ain't nothing to fucking. It's it's something. Killzone and SOCOM and what was that one they tried? The one that had like 100 players. It was like big. It was on PS3. Can't remember.
You talking about
Mag.
Man.
That's what it was. Yeah, I'm talking about Mag and Resistance. Those are the kind of things that Sony wish they had.
Well, SOCOM could have been better. They just got fucked by the hack.
Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I actually was a SOCOM player. A lot of people.
I like SOCOM.
A lot of people don't remember that. It was a fucking great game. Really good game. Really detailed. Played really well. The portable games were really good too. Just a really solid game. And then Sony just one day was like, nah. Close the fucking studio down out of nowhere. It's like, what? Because they'd made like what? They made like fucking 10 of those games or some shit.
Yeah, I forget the name of the studio, but they just caught a bad hand, man. Zipper, yep.
It was Zipper, dude.
Zipper Interactive, and they caught a bad hand, man. And it just so happened they had launched the last SOCOM maybe like a week, 2 weeks before the hack. The hack put Sony out for a month.
3 months.
Oh, 3 yeah, 3
Remember?
months.
It wasn't a month.
3 months. Yeah.
It was 3 months. You didn't have
3 months,
PSN.
man.
And I remember it because I wanted to play the infamous the infamous 2 Festival of Blood DLC and then the user-generated content stuff. But you couldn't. Because it didn't work.
It worked, man. Yep. So, and for online multiplayer game like SOCOM, it's tougher.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Tougher.
So what do we think is going to happen with some of the other stuff? You know, we've talked about the big stuff. Well, actually, no. We didn't. We left one big boy out of there. We got Blizzard. You know? And now Blizzard's been in a little bit of a stuck pig state now for a couple of years. You know, people will be like, oh, well, you know, Diablo 2 was remastered was amazing. I was like, Diablo 2 was done by Vicarious Visions.
Right.
Just saying. You know, and be like, oh, well, you know, Warcraft 3 came out. And I was like, did it though? Did it really though? You know, and sure, Hearthstone and StarCraft 2 and World of Warcraft, those are still going strong. So
how is World of Warcraft now? I know it's been kind of looping about to die hard.
I'm not a WoW guy. I asking the wrong person, Dame. I don't know. I don't know shit. I just know that people play it.
I used to be a WoW guy. My account's probably been purged because it was on Battle.net, and so I'm sure it's been purged by now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I mean, you brought it up, Battle.net. That's a good point. So a lot of people have pointed out, you know, people are of the opinion, particularly PC gamers, that Battle.net is superior server-wise for gaming than anything that Steam was offering, or potentially more formidable than stuff on Xbox Live.
Superior or secure?
Tomato, it's hard to tell. You know, I know the Destiny community was real butthurt when they left Battle.net after, you know, Bungie left their partnership with Activision Blizzard.
I was gonna ask, when they on Battle.net?
They were.
Destiny 2 till which expansion, Nate?
I don't even remember now.
Come on, Google Stadia PC player Destiny guy. You're on like 3 Destiny podcasts a week. Come on, dude.
That might have been Forsaken. I want to say it might have been Forsaken.
Yeah, it was a while ago now.
Google foo here. When did Bungie leave Blizzard?
When did Bungie pay for their freedom?
2019.
Okay, so which expansion was that?
Light Beyond?
So which expansion is that, Nate?
I'm looking. Jesus.
How many Destiny podcasts
Google
are you on again?
But my eyes are not.
That might have been Forsaken, because that's when I stopped in 2019.
Yeah, because it would have been Forsaken, and then it was...
Which was what was the expansion with freaking Osiris?
That was the first one. Wow. That was fucking...
Curse of Osiris.
Yeah, Curse of Osiris. That was the one in the first year.
Yeah. It was that long? No.
I want to say it might have been.
Yeah, okay.
That's a war mine. That was the first DLC.
Yeah, because they did the same strategy that worked so brilliantly for them with Destiny 1, where they had 2 micro expansions.
Right. They did shit for because I'm not gonna lie, Curse of Osiris was pretty bad.
It was, and I think that was like people were like, "See, this is what happens when you leave Blizzard," and it's like, well, I mean, no, but yes.
Yeah. I mean,
but anyway, I think the thing though now is we have a potential for Battle.net integration with Xbox servers, and potential for their tech to integrate or perhaps bolster gaming within PC and Xbox community there, or hell, I mean, I don't know. They might own some proprietary netcode that might even fucking, get you a better lower latency thing on fucking xCloud. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I
I'll
think
tell you though, I really love xCloud. Like it works so well. Just me playing on my phone and
Right.
just like, dude, I beat all of Artful Escape, Ori, The Blind Forest, and
so that's funny.
you know,
I actually did play. I finally played Ori and or not the Blind Forest, whatever the first one is.
that's The Blind Forest.
Blind Forest, yeah. I played at least 3 hours on game streaming on Ori, but I did it within my home from my Series X to my phone.
Okay.
I tried it on xCloud. The latency on that fucking game was not having it for me.
Yeah, that's a game where it has to be on point. It like with Ori, it has to be.
I know.
It's platform hell.
Yeah, for no reason.
for no reason. Like I said, I never loved and hated a game so much in my life.
Yeah, I mean, me too, dude. Me too. Like, holy shit. Like, all right, we gotta narrowly escape this thing from crushing us every fucking level.
Mm-hmm.
Good God. And then they took away your save system. That's like your saving grace in the fucking game in those instances. Fuck you.
So you gotta go through the whole escape.
Like, fuck you for randomly throwing this fucking Souls experience in the middle at the end of this level for no reason. So
they got better at that at Will of the Wisp. I played a little bit of Will of the Wisp.
I wanted to go right into Will of the Wisp, but I was so frustrated, and I was really disappointed by the ending of the first Ori, story-wise. I was like, man, fuck you.
Yeah. Because that's all you go through is like,
fuck all that shit. But yeah, no. So we have BattleNet is potentially super good for everything, all concerned. And then something that I was talking with, my roommate Brock and former co-host on the show, that brings up, Blizzard houses a world-class CGI team. Microsoft, once the deal closes, will have a world-class in-house CGI team. And something that's maybe a little, I mean, I think Call of Duty does it too in some other games, but Microsoft games specifically, like they've always got some number of CGI cutscenes in them. Halo Infinite opens with a CGI cutscene. Halo Wars 2, every fucking cutscene is CGI. They like their CGI cutscenes, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially, well-produced ones. Microsoft usually partners with Blur, of course, legendary, and a company called Axis, which is lesser known, but I couldn't tell Blur between Axis apart if you put two pictures side by side, and now they have a team that can do that in-house, and I would think if I'm, the Blizzard CGI team who's been doing fucking Protoss stabbing, trolls and stuff for forever, I think I'd be pretty excited to work on something different. Just for the sakes of that stuff. So I think there's a potential for that, that to really grow, and my buddy Brock even pointed out, if they've done stuff and they've done compilations where Blizzard stuff were like whole fucking movies and stuff, they did CGI on their own Warcraft movie, you could see them doing like a movie or a TV series for X, Y, or Z franchise, of which Netflix, there's so many to choose from.
A Netflix series, like Overwatch.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
I mean, I don't think Overwatch is worth anybody's time, but that's
I just picked a random
that's
game.
me. I digress.
I picked the random game.
But then there's all the other stuff that is also acquired in this stuff. Microsoft is now going to be home to, where the fuck is the picture? As I lost it, of course. So we've got.
What do you think the new Survivor IP is going to be?
Oh, the thing that they announced with a picture.
Yeah.
Very strangely.
What was this?
So Blizzard announced that they're doing a new game. like a new game.
Oh, right.
And it's
the
in the
MMORPG.
I mean,
The survival.
we don't know what
Survival,
it is
right, yeah.
necessarily. It's in the survival genre, is what the official statement was. I mean, I don't know. What was the picture? It was like a forest or some shit.
Yeah, it looked like something from the forest. Like,
I mean,
that's all we got.
when I see forest, when it says Blizzard on the thing, I think of Warcraft. So, I mean, it could be something in that. I mean, it could be something original, you know? They could go back to Lost Vikings. They could be like Lost Vikings in the Aztec jungles or some shit.
Lich King. Back to Lich King.
Lich King's been overdone, man.
Oh, man. Lich King can never be overdone. can never be overdone. Never. That's one of my favorite DLCs of all time.
It was fucking killer. It's so good.
Oh my gosh, bro. Fucking love the Death Knight.
Yeah, so cool. So cool. 100%. I mean, if you want more Lich King, obviously there's more of that in Hearthstone and some of the Warcraft, World of Warcraft expansions. But it's like, they should do a proper Warcraft 4, obviously. They obviously fucked up the remaster. So I suppose they could probably fix that, maybe. But it's like, nah, you should do a proper one. Who's to say? But with this now, so Xbox is now the de facto platform for first-person shooters, Western RPGs, and platform games. Just the platform games alone. We have. There's gonna be some strange names in here, but nevertheless, here they are. We got Battletoads, we got Voodoo Vince, we got Blinks, we got Ori, we got Crash Bandicoot, Banjo-Kazooie, Spyro, Conker, Viva Pinata, Minecraft, and Psychonauts. Like, if you're a platformer game, like that, or a platformer gamer, like those are the games that you love or you grew up on or whatever, have nostalgia for them. It's like, yo, they have fucking everything, like except for Sonic and Mario. Like it's
Ratchet.
Oh, that's true.
Ratchet.
And Ratchet. Yeah. And, obviously that goes hand in hand with Jak and Daxter, obviously. Yeah. Well, and then in that same token, if you want platformer, although it's a little stealthy as well, you got Sly Cooper in there as well. So, they don't have everything, but they've got most of it.
Yeah, they got the important ones, pretty much. The most important one outside of Mario, like you said, Mario and Sonic. Yeah,
but I mean, like, God, shit, like, it's so funny because we knew before the Activision Blizzard deal, Sony is starting a brand new studio actually right here in Seattle. That's being led up by I'm drawing a blank on his name. First name Marcus, but he's the co-creator of Master Chief. He's the lead art designer for the Halo series, actually. And
I think I recall seeing something about that.
He is starting a first-person shooting studio for Sony in Seattle. He announced that in December, and I have no doubt that he has some good ideas of him. Oh, he had done a game called Disintegration that a lot of people liked, but nobody played before he went to this Sony position. And I think it's a good call. And obviously he's got good chops and he's building a studio from the ground up. And there's a lot of talent here in the Seattle area, obviously. But with Xbox now owning Quake and Doom and Wolfenstein and Call of Duty and Overwatch and Halo and Prey and Perfect Dark, it's like... Yo,
what the fuck, bro?
That is that's
thoroughbreds.
That's an Avengers Endgame portal moment against Thanos forces there. That's just like shit.
How do we compete, bro?
It's funny.
I know for me personally, I never really liked how Arcane Games feel.
Yeah.
Like me too. They just feel weird, which is why I wasn't interested in Deathloop. I tried Prey. I didn't like how it felt. I'm not a big Dishonored guy.
Yeah.
So like Bethesda shooting games, I can go without. I'm not a big Call of Duty guy anymore. So I can
Well,
do without.
Bethesda's also id though, and I'd
Yeah,
argue Doom and Doom
I like
Eternal.
Doom.
Holy
I
shit,
like
dude!
Doom.
Those
Especially
games
if you
are
play,
fucking Pixar for shooters, man.
especially if you play Doom right and you just running
Oh,
through shit, just meleeing and shooting people left and right. Oh my god,
it's glorious.
therapy. Yeah, it is.
You know, it's
It
fucking
is.
ridiculous. And also,
Oh.
you know, well, and look at it this way too. You know, I think we were all worried a couple years ago. It was like, all right, well, Unreal Engine 5 is fucking amazing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody should be on Unreal Engine 5 if Tim Sweeney wasn't an asshole. You know, like, but now it's like, well, Xbox has, you know, they have their new Halo Slipspace engine. They have whatever the fuck the Call of Duty engine is. They have the Blizzard game engine now. They have id Tech 6. They have fucking you know, all these different game engines now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if they were smart, they should do an old Sony move, and they should do what they did in the PS1, PS2 era, where they did the Coalition for a common game engine initiative. Because you have all these studios now that have, in certain areas, obviously they're not all like like perfect engines, but all of them are good at certain things. You know, like I would argue, you know, the Call of Duty game engine and probably the id game engine are incredible at high performance frame rate and tons of shit on the screen that somehow doesn't blow up your computer. You know, you've got Blizzard game engines that are amazing and obviously RTSs and you know, action RPGs like Diablo and stuff like that, you know, coupled with, you know, the stuff that Bethesda Softworks, you know, Elder Scrolls team is good at with, you know, story and emergent gameplay and open world stuff, you know. And if you were to somehow wrangle like all of those components,
the secret sauce for all of them,
the way that Sony has, you know, and I would argue strongly, even though, you know, if you watch stuff on Sony stuff, you know, like Insomniac, you know, Spider-Man looks incredible, Horizon Zero Dawn looks incredible, you know, they talk about their own internal game engines, but you know in your head, it's like there's something different about the way that these teams tackle technology within their system. And if you can wrangle that to the degree that Sony has, you know, with this plethora of world-class studios, you could have a force that could rival an Unreal Engine 5. Because sure as shit, Microsoft would want to sell it to you.
Yeah, I think they can figure it out. In that case, I think they can definitely figure it out.
Yeah. And what's the closest competitor at this point? Unity?
Yeah. Right. And remember, you know, we talked about last fall, Unity got a huge shot in the arm to compete with Epic Unreal Engine moving into the Hollywood space by purchasing Weta Digital, you know, and all of their proprietary technologies like Massive and, you know, all this stuff that they've pioneered over fucking 25 years of excellence, you know. And so, you know, so you Dame, so you talked about how you don't want to see it go monopolistic, even though obviously, you know, Microsoft just gets bigger and bigger by you just fucking looking at it.
Right.
And just a fucking troll at the end there, just like just fucking eating all the food on the table and then the door and then the fucking rocks on your way out. You know, but you know, I think, you know, everybody knows I'm the Apple fanboy. You know, I think in the last 10 years, the seismic shift of thinking that Microsoft has done as a whole, as a company, has been pretty incredible. You know, they went from software only to making really good hardware in a lot of areas now. You know, like I have an Xbox branded headset that I got for Christmas. And
Right.
honestly, it's better than my Sony. What the fuck are these? These are
With the pulses.
yeah, these are my professional MDR 7506s, which have been the studio standard for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is less bleed, super crisp. I was like, it's comfier. I was like, what the fuck? What am I doing? What am I doing with an Xbox branded headset made by Microsoft? What the fuck? You know, you wouldn't have.
What are they using for sound technology?
I couldn't tell you. I haven't done a deep dive teardown into them yet. I do, but I haven't. So I don't know, but I will one day because I like to know what shit is what, you know. But my point is, like, there's been this seismic shift, you know, and then obviously after Xbox getting stomped last generation, you know, they listened to every complaint. And they've handled every single fucking complaint. Don't have games? All right, we're gonna fucking buy everybody on the goddamn planet. You know, we're gonna buy everything that you love. You will want for nothing.
I've seen some backlash on that, mainly because, and I kind of understand, but I see both sides of it. Some people feel that on one side you have Sony, who have worked and had a relationship with these developers. Colin talked about this.
Yeah,
on
100%. I know exactly everything.
Yeah, you know, and I see where he's coming from.
Sure.
You know, where you have Sony, who had these relationships with Insomniac, you know, with Naughty Dog, with Housemarque, you know, and eventually it made sense to acquire them because they've already had that close relationship with them. So it almost it kind of gives the audience or the gamer as a sense of these games have been homegrown, even though they've been purchased by Sony, the developers. But the games feel homegrown. It feels like Sony is farming the developers and building these games from the ground up. While on the other side, Microsoft is like, yeah, we ain't got that. We just gonna buy the talent. We ain't got talent. We just gonna buy it.
You know, so you know, I listened to the same Sacred Symbols show you did too, Dame, and I hear what Colin's saying, and I hear what you're saying about that. I do take umbrage in a lot of areas because, you know, Colin's argument, Colin Moriarty on Sacred Symbols, Last Stand Media, his argument was Xbox hasn't grown any franchise. And as somebody,
that's objectively false.
Exactly. And as somebody who plays everything, like, you know, I definitely want certain platforms to win over another based on my enjoyment. You know, last generation, it was like, my Xbox One kind of sucks ass. I don't particularly enjoy my time there. I think the controller is good. I hate everything about the interface. They fixed the interface. Hate the performance of the console. They made new ones. You know, but it took them the whole generation to get there. Obviously, you know. Meanwhile, PS4 had the most 360-like experience. You know, because the previous generation, I was like, you know, I mean, I liked my exclusives on PS3, but PS3 didn't really hold a candle to some of the experiences I was having. You know, it wasn't until the end of the PS3 experience.
By that time, it was too late because you already had made your memories and experience on the 360 at that point.
Sure. You know, and don't get me wrong. It's like, oh, well, you didn't play Last of Us. Like, fuck you. I was there day one, Last of Us. I played all the Uncharteds. You know, I'm a Starhawk guy, for Christ's sake. I think Sony should bring that shit back. Ran like shit. No, not the fighting game, Dame. Definitely not that. I meant the real Starhawk. We've turned into the fucking bean from X-Men First Class. You know, bring me Starhawk, and then you've got the fucking the Vita version of PlayStation All Stars. No, the real Starhawk, and then it's the PS3 version of PlayStation All Stars, and it's like, no, the real version. Then it's finally the real Starhawk game. It's like, perfection. Oh Jesus.
That's hilarious.
Where was I fucking going? You know, I think definitely objectively, Sony handles teams and their teams as a whole better. But I think it's ignorant, honestly, of Colin Moretti to say that they didn't grow anything on Xbox. You know, everybody knows I'm a dyed in the wool Halo fan. I have a Halo wedding ring. There's a fucking all kinds of Halo shit in this room. You know, and objectively, if you follow the history of Halo, you know, Halo is an RTS before, yes, Microsoft purchased them, but they were like, is RTS really working for you guys? You know, you guys did these FPSs before this RTS, and this RTS isn't really that good. And they're like, yeah, you're fucking probably right. You know, I dare anyone out there to watch the Xbox Powered On documentary, which
it's so good.
Yes, was made by Microsoft, but like, holy shit, I had no idea that Halo 1 was such a clusterfuck 6 months before launch. You never would have guessed that.
I think Phil talked about that on the Phil talked about that on the interview with Ryan McCaffrey.
Yep.
He had Phil, he had Peter Moore.
Yeah, he was like it was not a AAA game 6 months at E3. It was underperforming, and we were like, what do you need to do? And we're like, we need peace and quiet. We're like, all right, fucking locking you down. I don't want to see this shit till it's gold when we need to print it, you know? And that was the right call, you know? Without that push, you know, we wouldn't have Halo. And then to say that they didn't grow it, are you kidding me? Is there a fucking multimedia thing in the 2000s to 2001 to 2010 where someone didn't know what Halo was? Someone didn't know the amazing theme. Someone didn't know the legendary multiplayer in Halo 2, you know, or any of this stuff. You know, I do
you one. Yeah.
You know,
I do you one better, Tim.
Yeah.
I do you one better, Tim.
Go for it.
Every Windows device, whether it's a Surface Pro, whether it's an HP laptop, whether it's a ThinkPad or whatever, if it has Windows 11 or 10, guess who the AI voice is?
Of course. Yeah, it's Cortana. It's awesome.
Cortana.
You know? Like it's definitely, you know, there's no mistaking that, you know, Halo is a unique cultural phenomenon, you know, because it touches a lot of areas that not other games do necessarily, you know, and, you know, they grew it into, I would argue, yeah, I'm a fanboy, but I'm also an author myself and consider myself a good judge of writing. You know, a lot of the books are really fucking good. You know, a lot of the ancillary stuff with the property is really good. You know, in addition to, you know, I would argue 90% of the games are fantastic in the Halo franchise, you know, and really, regardless of how one may feel of how 343 has handled the Halo franchise, you know, Halo was grown at Microsoft Xbox, you know. Yeah, OG Bungie maybe could have got there eventually, you know, but we don't know that for sure. You know, we don't know, you know. And then the other thing too, you know, yeah, in the outset they didn't own Gears, but would Gears be a big huge thing that they're still making games for? You know, if they hadn't, you know, given them what they needed as a team at the time. You know, obviously, you know, a good point, you know, and Colin brought this up, you know, look what they did with fucking Rare. They fucking killed Rare. And it's like, yeah, they mishandled the fuck out of Rare until literally everyone who was important at Rare left. And you can actually hear about this. Chris Seavor, who was one of the creative heads at Rare and actually literally is the game designer, programmer, and voice of Conquer the fucking Squirrel. He has a ridiculous podcast because he's a crazy person, where he talks about, you know, Microsoft's mistreatment of his teams, you know, and, you know, we're not saying that, you know, Microsoft and Microsoft Game Studio was perfect in their handling of everything. Obviously, you know, they killed Lionhead, which was making fucking Fable games, you know.
Right. My
wife would probably fuck a Fable game disc if she could, or maybe she has. I don't know. You know, she's got the books for that game. like the written books, not the, you know, she's got the guidebooks too, but I was like, there's fucking written books for this game? I didn't fucking know
I didn't
that.
know the lore was that deep. Yeah, I didn't know the lore was that deep either.
Exactly. And I played them. You know? But it's like, you know, there's missteps, you know. The same thing as just we said even within this podcast. You know, why the fuck did Sony kill Zipper? Why the fuck did Sony Bend not make a fucking Siphon Filter game? Like, are you kidding me? Like, there's no fucking stealth games apart from Hitman now. And yeah, Splinter Cell's coming back, and Godspeed and bless them. You know, if they can make it to the finish line. But it's like,
I would say this though, kudos to Sony for listening to get a first-person shooter. They haven't had one.
Sure, but man, do they have a near vertical struggle in that one?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because not only do they got to get the talent, they got to grow the team, and then, you know, like again, so it's interesting. So if you go on Reddit right now, I can't remember which game store it is, but there's a game store in the Europes, and they've put a sign on their game cases that says Microsoft purchased Activision Blizzard right next to where the consoles are, and they're like, if you're a first person shooter fan, be careful which console you buy. Like they literally put this fucking thing. It was insane. Oh yeah, it was a Call of Duty display, and it was like Jesus. You know, and it's like, you know, if you're fans of those, it's like, you know,
you've got to be counting the days.
Or if you're the single console player, and you're like, well, I bought this PS5 because I play Call of Duty with my friends.
Yep.
Well, I don't know what's going to be the future now. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and going back to your point, you know, Colin did bring up some good points in his Sacred Symbols thing. Is this the bargaining chip, that the colossal, you can't say no to this offer of, yeah, you can keep Call of Duty and all your Activision stuff on PlayStation. You give us Game Pass on your console.
Right.
And you cut the fees out for crossplay. Because we know more than anybody, Microsoft has been pushing crossplay.
Right.
And, you know,
and we know they've been pushing to try to get Game Pass on Switch.
And
that would be colossal.
I feel like
I don't think Nintendo's going to do it.
I feel like it's coming. How many Microsoft games are on Switch? You got Ori on Switch. You got Cuphead on Switch. You got Minecraft on Switch. You got fucking Banjo-Kazooie in fucking Smash Brothers. And in fact, it's not the remastered HD ones of Banjo-Kazooie, but the original Nintendo 64 Banjo-Kazooie is on the Nintendo Online right now on Switch. I know, because I checked it out the other day.
Well, and
that wouldn't have happened without Microsoft's consent.
Nintendo doesn't. All they have to do is develop the interface.
Sure.
They don't even have to develop, like right now, all those titles you listed, they had to develop for the hardware.
Yeah, that's true.
With the other ones, they developed for the hardware. Like the streaming service, they don't even have to do that. They just have to, here's a portal for it, we'll allow it on our system.
Well, and here's the thing. Digital Foundry this week, I haven't seen it yet, because I usually watch Digital Foundry stuff on Sunday, because I'm a weirdo. They just, the video they just published on Friday was Digital Foundry's overview of all of the streaming app games that are on Switch. And it was like Plague Tale and the new Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and Hitman and, you know, all these games that literally wouldn't run on Switch, even though they somehow got Doom Eternal to run on Switch. But, you know, whatever. id Tech is good. Wow. Hey, Doom will run on anything.
You can get The Witcher 3 to run on Switch.
Yeah. I mean, good. I feel like
you could through a streaming service.
Yeah. You know, Nintendo's been allowing that stuff on their platform. Sure, it's app by app, but if, you know, because there's some rumors circulating that as of this year, for the foreseeable future until the silicon shortage is fixed, the alleged Switch Pro is dead. They're not moving forward with it because they can't move forward with it.
Right.
If we're looking at a scenario where the Switch, because of the silicon shortage, You know, they're still just making this old ass Switch, you know. Yeah, the OLED Switch is better in some areas, but under the hood, it's the same hardware as the Switch Lite, which is technically better, but whatever. Only marginally so. You know, it's like if we're looking at a scenario where the Switch is still around for another 3 years, wouldn't it behoove Switch to have Game Pass on there if they already have such a good working relationship with Microsoft?
Especially when you're going to eventually have competitors like Steam Deck.
Yeah, Steam Deck's around the corner.
You beat me to it.
You know,
beat me to it.
Steam Deck is the Switch Pro. Certainly the Switch Pro I fucking want. You know,
beat me to it.
And the Steam Deck will run
everything.
Game Pass.
Yeah, and everything.
I want one of those.
For that
matter. I want one of those so bad.
Yeah, I bet. Get in line. But I'm being salty
and then
here.
You have these guys here, right?
Yeah.
The phablet phones that are coming out, and Game Pass runs on that.
Yep. You know, we're entering a future where the gaming presence, you know, like, and that's the other thing. You know, Hogue Law exposed that Phil Spencer got a promotion to a division that doesn't exist yet in Microsoft.
So they're making him another job. They're making him a brand new job.
Yeah, he's now the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. That division doesn't exist yet.
Who's this?
Phil Spencer, head of Xbox.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I feel like that's what he is now.
I mean, yeah, it's
in a way.
Maybe it's, you know, a knock on wood, you know, in name only kind of thing. But at the same time, it's like, well, the sheer size of the $68 billion Activision Blizzard is going to, you know, he's going to have to delegate, you know, and only, you know, by the end of this year, we're going to see the fruits of the Bethesda acquisition. You know, are those going to pan out correctly? And if they do, I'm telling you, if they do, we're going to see it in the water. And if those are, everything is smooth, you know, if fucking Starfield is somehow quality controlled and doesn't have the Bethesda bugs, you know what I'm fucking talking about.
You know what? And it's like, it's glorified at this point. People give them a pass and
and it's fucking,
oh, that's just the Bethesda.
And it's fucking stupid. And I'll say it every time. Do you know why? Because when Skyrim came out on Switch, Nintendo handled the port themselves, which is insane, by the way. And it had none of the shit. You know, I've played so many versions of Skyrim, it's crazy. But that is, you know, it may not be the best graphically looking, but fuck you, is it the best performing, best loading, non-buggy shit functions in that goddamn, what, decade, 12-year-old game now? What was it, 2010 Skyrim came out? You know, and it's like, holy shit. I mean, you know,
it's become a meme that you can basically run Skyrim on everything. Sure.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying Nintendo has really great quality control, and they fucking fix Skyrim. So I'm saying if Microsoft puts their fucking QA team, because we know they have in-house QA teams, not just in studios, but also they have their own QA team at Xbox Game Studio. You know, and obviously they have the might of their hardware teams. They might be like, oh, if you just tweak this, you know, whatever thing in your game engine, it'll run better on the Xbox or whatever the fuck. You know, if Starfield is technically like really good for some reason, I'm not expecting it to be because it is Bethesda, right? But if it's technically good, I'm telling you, there's no reason to suspect that they can't get fucking Activision Blizzard in order. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we're going to see it at the end of the year and we'll know. Because if it feels like a Bethesda game, it'd be like, all right, they have more nurturing to do if they can get around to it because they're wrangling Activision Blizzard and they did purchase these. But if we see a difference as gamers in the games that we're familiar with, you know, you get games from certain developers, you come to expect certain quirks, right? You know, it's like, you know, Dame, like when you play an Insomniac game or a Sucker Punch game, you expect like it's going to be the peak of technical perfection, right? And you know it because you feel it in the games, you know. And sure, that doesn't matter to everybody, but if we feel that in some Bethesda shit, sky's the limit. Like,
It could be a lightning rod. It could be a lightning rod for Microsoft. If they nail Starfield, let's say Starfield comes out holiday, they nail Starfield.
It will. It's got a release date. It's like November 8th, November 22nd,
okay,
something like that.
Holiday.
Yeah,
it is. Yep.
They announced it like Christmas time or something.
If you nail Starfield and then turn around and then boom, Outer Worlds 2 or Avowed, boom, Hellblade 2, boom, and hit it with another one. Oh, we got a ball game. Got a ball game, man.
100%. You know, and you know, Microsoft is putting themselves in a position with Xbox to potentially have a big marquee title of some kind every single month of the year, potentially forever.
Yeah.
Potentially forever. Yeah. Like the only thing that they're missing in their suite of stuff is what? JRPGs and like the hardcore League sports games, right?
Well, I mean, but didn't Activision have what, MLG?
No, Sony did, because that's why there's the
Sony had MLG.
Yeah, because of the fucking the baseball game that came out. We just talked about it in the show. What's it called?
No, that's MLG.
The show.
I'm talking about. I said MLG.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's totally. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm really glad you brought it up. When I dug into this whole thing, I didn't actually know that Activision Blizzard owned MLG, Major League Gaming.
Right.
They own an entire fucking esports division. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. I didn't even know that.
They bought them like a couple years ago.
That's fucking crazy.
With their push for Overwatch League.
It's fucking crazy. You know? And that's funny because I know Halo is already buddy with MLG. So it's like fuck. You know? So I'm sure
it could be their esports.
Yeah, they have a whole esports division. That's crazy. You know? And then, you know, to top it all off of all kinds of stuff, you know, we have King, which a lot of people, you know, are big nerd gamers, wouldn't be like, what the fuck is King? You know, it's like, yeah, they make Candy Crush. And
if you don't know, your wife certainly does.
Yeah, your wife or girlfriend, 100% no.
Casual gamers, casuals.
Well, here's the thing. I read a thing somewhere that said Candy Crush alone makes $180 million a month.
Fucking crazy,
right? they're casually crushing it.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's been around for years. And what's funny to me, Dame, is I literally know, because she's one of my best friend's wife, the person who was CFO who sold King to Activision Blizzard. I literally know that person. She's lovely. And because what she had done was she had a company, Z2 Live, here in Seattle. And they made some little like RTS world builder, fucking time gated whatever bullshit thing. And so then she sold that company to King. And then she became one of the CFOs for King. And she was commuting back to the UK, of all places. And then she sold King to Activision Blizzard.
Oh my god!
And then you know, she doesn't work for them. She sold, and then she retired. That was her third retirement.
Oh, but she did
at that point.
But she did retire. I'm sure she retired.
That was her third retirement, and then she went and played around for a year, and made her.
I want Get Bored acquire another $1 billion money. Right.
Right.
No.
Right.
No.
I make no bones or begrudgments against her making shitloads of money, you know. And then she got out, and then she went and she founded some kind of cloud company with some upstart, and then they went down to like South America or something, and then she went and sold that to Microsoft, and then she got absorbed to Microsoft, and then she's so good at building these fucking companies financially, right?
She probably sends them a postcard for Christmas. Wish you were here.
And
Right.
and now she's in a subdivision of Microsoft that incubates and grows companies until they're successful. And then she's like a fucking to use a Halo term, an orbital drop shock trooper to different startups and stuff that aren't doing well or things that Microsoft's looking to acquire. And like, oh, go here, do this thing.
Right. Go guru.
You know? And it's funny because I've talked to her. I was like, haven't you retired like 3 times now? She's like, yeah, but I like to work. And
the money's too good.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to make a big thing about their financials or anything, but it's like, you know, it's not even about that. She likes the action of it at this point. And she's just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm good at it. You know? And so
for the thrill of it all.
I guess, sure. You know. She's just a sweet girl from Texas, went to community college, not even a joke, and she's fucking sold more billion-dollar companies than you or I will ever do. But it's crazy, you know. It's like, you know, when it came up in the news, and I was like, oh, King. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah.
But my buddy Jay's wife, she did that. I remember that.
But again, it's one of those things. It's like, oh, you acquired Blizzard Activision, and you go, but King is in there, and again, a lot of people are like, King. Yeah, your wife knows who King is, right?
Well,
it's making $180 million, right,
a year without
it's no joke
trying, or I'm sorry, per month without trying.
That's insane.
Well, and look at it this way. Microsoft has dabbled in cell phone gaming. Some would argue, or actually I'm going to argue, unsuccessfully for years now. Because I remember back in 2017, I made a pretty grandiose post on Discord and Twitter and social media and stuff. And I took a screenshot of my phone, and I was like, 2017, it was like October, November or something. And I was like, all right, calling it. This is the day the platform war ended. Because on my phone, there was Mario, Halo, Crash Bandicoot, Nathan Drake, Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, like all the big franchises in a cell phone game. Excuse me, listeners, for the burp. You know, and I was like, and it's on Android and iOS. And those are all, you know, marquee franchise names. You know, and sure, those games aren't necessarily, at least some of them aren't good. And some of them are, you know, but it's like, if you don't think that Microsoft isn't going to wrangle King into making some kind of mobile version of everything, and with Call of Duty Mobile already being successful, you guys are out of your goddamn mind. Like, they're going to be like, all right, Call of Duty Mobile, all right, Halo Mobile next, Gears of War Mobile next, like, get on that shit, you know. Give me fucking Halo Crush or whatever the fuck. I don't know. You know?
They're gonna turn Master Chief into a match game?
You know what? And I'll fucking play it.
Oh, man.
I ain't gonna fucking lie.
Spartan War Saga. It's like match 3.
Oh, God. Well, we already had the game on mobile was Spartan Assault. It started as a Surface exclusive game, and then it failed there, and so they ported it to 360 and phones. Still playable. It's just, you know, it's so funny because it's actually exactly like the Killzone PSP game that Guerrilla made 2006 for the PSP, which was good. But I'm like, oh, this is Halo with this game type. Okay, sure, why not? I don't know. Oh my goodness. Well, is there anything else you boys wanted to touch on this monumental sea shift in gaming in regards to this before we get into some other stuff and then eventually pile into the going towards the end of the show?
I think I am good. I think we covered pretty much everything. I'm going to go through my notes.
Yeah, we had some big stuff. You and I had a lot of the same topics, Dame, but I knew we would because I swear to God, we're like from. We could have been brothers, man.
We could have been.
We would have burned that orphanage down together. I mean, what?
Right. I mean, other than the obvious, the Bobby Kotick stuff.
Oh, sure. And So the thing on that Hogue pointed out, it's in his contract. He's out. He's getting a $300 million golden parachute. And
what a fucking parachute,
right? But you know, the reason he has that is because he has it in his clause that at any time Activision Blizzard gets bought out, that's what his parachute is.
Right.
He had it in his Activision contract, so there's no.
And again, I'm not a narcotic apologist or a defender or anything, but what he did to get where he is, right? No doubt. Like I think that's a well-earned payout for the work he put in.
You know, I mean, there's two ways to look at it. You can look at it as he's a human scumbag who's ordered hits on people and has actively let basically, you know, what's tantamount to rape farms happen within his own company. But at the same time, and Colin said this too, and this is important too, he'd been with the company, 32 years?
Yep.
He invested his own money and he single-handedly saved Activision before they merged with Blizzard. And he made it into the $68 billion acquisition that it is today.
And so is out. So is out because he knew in his clause.
Yeah. And you know, like Nate said, we're not saying what he did was right, but at the same time, sometimes the path to wealth is greed and wrong choices. And to a board and a business with bottom line that doesn't care about that, you know?
Right. And you want to chip into that. You want to chip into the number. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of civil suits and whatnot that are going to have to be paid out.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
When this is all said and done.
Microsoft is for sure going to pay that. And
no, they probably won't now that he's going to get a $300 billion buyout.
No, I was talking about like the other suits that are still ongoing with Activision that they just acquired with like California and all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
They're going to pay and they're going to do stuff, and they're obviously going to do their own investigations and clean house because that is what Microsoft does. They're very, what's the word I'm looking for? Because I have a shit ton of friends who work at Microsoft. They're very anal about not just their public PR, but their internal PR and the treatment of employees.
Right, their culture.
They got a no tolerance policy.
Pretty much, because you know, like one of the things you know that you have to think about too is like Microsoft is a different company now. This goes back to the thing that I said you saw a sea shift happen about 10 years ago, right around when the Surface stuff started popping up. That's where I noticed it personally. You know, and when I talk to my own friends who work at Microsoft, I was like, oh, you know, you're taken care of well there. And they're like, oh, yeah, you know, they're like, you know, like there's, you know, always tax, they're well paid, you know, your transport's handled, your living's generally handled, like all of that stuff, everything so that you can do your thing, you know, but like huge organizations, you know, they've got sensitivity trainings and, you know, ethics trainings and all sorts of stuff like that. And some people are down for that ride and some people are not down for that ride, you know, depending on people and depending on, you know, departments and whatnot. So it's just, I don't know where I was going with that necessarily, but I think
they foster a good culture.
I think, I think the long and short is they go out of their way to, in general, these days, not old Microsoft, obviously,
right,
foster some kind of good culture that's somewhere between some kind of idyllic Apple shit and like a good video game studio, you know, because, you know, like I've been inside the walls of Microsoft for work more than a few times, you know, and I've been inside the walls of Valve, and it's like, when I think of studios or computer places, you know, that make stuff, I was like, yeah, it seems like it'd be pretty fucking dope to work at one of these places, you know? They're well taken care of, you know? And it's like, it seems wild to me, the amount of stuff that has gone on at Activision, you know? But whatever, you know, it's, You know, I think Colin said it best on his show. You know, I hate to keep parroting back things that other people have said, but so many people have already made such good comments and points about it that there's no point in beating a dead horse. At the end of the day, Activision Blizzard, in the state of fire sale that it was in, Microsoft probably the best place that it could have possibly ended up, you know, because you wouldn't have wanted to see that end up at Facebook. You wouldn't have wanted to see that end up at Google.
Oh, you know, even Amazon.
You wouldn't have wanted to see it end up at Amazon's games division. Like, what even are they doing?
Right.
You know, like, you know, it's like, well, who else would have done it? You know, nobody, because nobody else had the fucking capital. Nobody else had the infrastructure and the cogs to handle some kind of insane old company like Activision had become, you know. And at the end of the day, are they saviors? Maybe. Are they gonna...
that page is yet to be written.
Yeah, it's yet to be written. I will say though, because Wednesday this week on Colin's Last Stand show, he had the gal who organized the first video game union with Activision.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Watched it yesterday.
And she was talking about how just straight fucked everything was in there in her time in there, and she left 2 years ago. And she was just like, you know, she wasn't sure that Microsoft would, you know, do all the same things because she doesn't work for Microsoft. But she was like, well, you know, if the bar is in a fucking hole, anything is better.
Right.
You know?
And I think, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, video game developer unions were inevitable because of the way things were going.
Well, and it's funny because it seems to me it depends on the goddamn company. It seems like, you know, there's been a bunch of shit about Riot Games. There's been a bunch of shit about Ubisoft and obviously Activision and EA, you know? And in interviews that I've seen or heard about, a lot of the companies recently that have been acquired, or more recently that have been acquired by Microsoft, their studios are basically just left to do what the fuck they were doing before, and then they just get cash influx and management influx and just kind of, you know, hey, how you doing?
But
what
that's
do you
the
need?
thing is, if you're doing everything the right way and you're doing everything on the level and ethically, a union isn't necessary.
Yeah.
Right.
Now we have a precedent that if you do your job shitty and you still want to keep people employed, the employees have an option to push back.
Yeah.
And they can unionize. And that was something that, you know, crunch was a huge thing. All of that, the mistreatment of workers, cross department stuff that, you know, you didn't get signed up to do it and you get transferred to this department and then let go because you couldn't do a job you were never signed up to do.
Right.
Well,
right.
And, you know, speaking from myself, from a younger version of myself, you know, when I was younger, I used to think, I had this kind of mental state of like, you could save the world working 9 to 5 or whatever, you know? And when it comes to crunch with video games and, you know, other lines of work that I've had and stuff, like, I can't think of a single time where, even for myself, for a physical job, for some kind of entertainment thing that I'm building, or even the one and only book that I got out the door, that there wasn't like a crunch thing that occurred, you know? And going back.
Well, and again, you're absolutely correct. There are going to be times when that crunch is necessary, but it should never be expected or be the norm.
Sure. I do agree with that, but I do believe that even though there's wrong, like, there's a method to the madness of, you know, going back to my Apple zealotry, you know, Steve Jobs, it's well documented, Steve Jobs pushed people like no other insane creative on the fucking planet.
Breaking point.
But did he and then the people he pushed also not accomplish some of the greatest fucking things that have happened in technology?
Would they have happened without it?
I don't think so.
I agree with Tim. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Because if you Steve Wozniak, who's the other partner, Steve, in the whole Apple equation.
The Woz.
Yeah, he's brilliant, but he would have tinkered in his basement, and he's even said so, like he never, ever would have made a computer that hooked up to a monitor if Steve wasn't like, just boom, like whatever reason, whatever fucking gut intuition, it's like, oh, this is the future. I need to figure out however the fuck we need to do this. We need to do this, like, and it's like, there are times in industry where that stuff happens, you going back to something more current, you look at the powered on thing for Xbox. They're just like, no, we're going to put a broadband modem in it. And they're like, what? Yeah, we have a plan down the road. We're going to do an online thing for consoles. And you can't do it with 56K. You just can't fucking do it with 56K, And it was bold, and it cost them extra money, to do that. And like, sure, Microsoft had that money, but it's just like nobody saw that. People attempted it. Sega attempted it with Dreamcast. Nintendo attempted it later with an add-on for Ethernet. But it's like, there are certain times in histories and industries where, unfortunately, even though it's unpleasant or it hurts or it sucks, and yeah, maybe the person pushing is a fucking cunt dick asshole, like, where that push is what's needed, like, I don't know, like, I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah. And again, it comes back down to the expectation versus the norm. And the other thing, that I've personally experienced is that crunch covering up for some failing upstream that's not being addressed.
And that definitely happens. A downstream fuck up can affect an uppers, management, and then he comes down hard on lowers. It happens all the fucking time.
It's something, again, I'm in manufacturing, so something that screws up in the supply chain, or someone drops the ball, doesn't order the parts get here late, and guess what? That part's still got to get out the door on the 30th.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we have those moments in my industry where, guess what? The last 2 days of the month, the last 2 days that I was at work were very, very hectic because we were having things come in, and we were literally, like putting out fires as they were coming through the department. But there was a point about 3 years ago where the upper management, the supply chain guys, were just getting lazy because they know we'll throw it down into test and they'll knock it out. They'll come in for the weekend and they'll get it done. So don't worry about don't push someone and make them upset upstream. We'll cover it on the back end. And we would, and we did for so long that at one point in time, I needed a Saturday off. And my boss goes, you can't take a Saturday off. And I'm going, that's not like, I'm already working 10-hour days Monday through Friday.
Right.
I'm allowed to have my Saturdays off. And he says, no, you're not. I'll fire you if you do.
Because he's under pressure.
Because he's under pressure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. I gave him the bird. I threatened to hit him in the face. I brought my union rep into the office and said, this ain't fucking flying. I'm taking my Saturday off. There's nothing you can do. And if he fires me, that's retaliation, and we'll sue.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's why unions are needed, like in situations like that. You need unions.
Exactly. And that was someone abusing their power. And it ended up turning out, once that pressure was off of him, we sat down and had a talk. And I said, look, this is why this didn't fly. I don't mean to be an a-hole to you, but I'm not going to let you or anyone else in this company abuse your station because their lack of preparation does not constitute an emergency on my part.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
And because it had been happening for so long, I flat out told him, I said, we now have a bad culture here with this company that says someone else downstream is going to pick up the slack. And there's now an expectation. You expected me to come in Saturday.
Sure.
And that's wrong.
Right.
Start changing that,
Yeah.
start working it back up the tree. And again, like you said, this is where a union, in the developer sense, can push back on some of those things. So I'm glad a precedent has been set, at least in this industry, that has been far overdue for some sort of strength in the workforce.
I mean, I'm not going to get into it too much because in general, me personally, I'm against unions, but the unions that I encounter are in construction. And in my opinion, aside from the very fine point of protecting oneself job-wise, you know, assuming you're not a prick, just saying, assuming you're not a prick,
right,
those are useful.
They can be abused,
but
and that's,
you know, where I butt heads against union, because I'm not union and now own my company, is people actually doing their jobs. And it's just like, what? And it's like a weird concept usually to people, you know, or it's like, you know,
right. You get some ridiculous stuff, like, you know, carpentry.
Crazy.
You got the guy that holds the nail, and you got the guy that hammers the nail. The guy that hammers the nail is not allowed to hold the nail. The guy that holds the nail is not allowed to hammer the nail. If the guy that holds the nail isn't here today, the guy with the hammers the nail still gets paid.
Yeah.
Wow.
To not hammer nails.
Yeah, I have a personal problem with that because it's not right in my opinion, personally, you know. So I feel like, you know, not to brush everything to a side, but it's one of those things where no one has come up with a solution that's not a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Like there's no perfect, you know, there's no perfect Star Trek situation where you don't have money or whatever, you know, like, and I've seen all the Star Trek, and it's just like, it's like one of those concepts that's just like, that sounds great, but how does that work? What does your self-worth come into then, you know? And you know, my wife's a hard worker, and would go crazy if she didn't have a job or wasn't doing something, you know, 5 to 9 or something like that. But like, you know, it's been her observation that like there's also something to do with American culture versus other country culture. You know, Ubisoft is not an American company. They're a French Canadian company, and Canada has a completely different work style than America. Europeans have a completely different work style than us. You know, you go to places, you know, Sony, good example. You know, we've got Horizon 2 Forbidden West coming around the corner. I'm super excited for it. I know Dame's super excited for it. You know, that's made over in, is it Sweden? Is it Dutch? I can't fucking remember. Sweden. Stockholm.
Sweden.
Sweden, wherever the fuck that is. You know, they have a totally different work culture, you know, and they're, you know, like they've got better medical, better pay, better hours, you know, whereas as Americans, it's like, well, if you're not working 40 hours a week, you're a fucking lazy asshole. You know, and it's like, what was it I heard?
And if you think otherwise, you're entitled,
right? But what was that? Was it the developer that implemented 4-day work week?
Yeah. So what it was, man, Dame, I swear to God, we're so like I was thinking literally the same thing. It was Japan, actually, because of COVID. They were doing 4-day work weeks because of stress and being at home and stuff. But they found statistically, because it is Japan, and obviously they're keeping track of shit, unlike us. They were like, well, guess what? People are more productive if they can come in, get out, and then do whatever the fuck they were doing for even more time than what is normal. And so it was proposed, I believe, in the whatever the Japanese version of the Senate is over there, that would potentially go into effect in spring. I think it was officially nationally mandated.
There was a push out here in Southern California to do the same thing, and they actually referenced the Japanese, and they're like, so 4 days, so it'd be 4 10-hour days, and he's like, nah. We actually have the statistics to show that a 4-day, 32-hour work week is every bit, if not more, productive than a 410 or 540.
That's actually the one I was referring to, the one in California.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Japan did it.
Yep, but that's where they got the precedent from and the data from, because everyone was like, oh, 4-day work week, cool, you'll still work your 40. And this guy was like, nah, man, 32.
And we need that. As an IT, as a person in IT, I wish I had 4-day work week. Mm-hmm. God, I wish I had a 4-day work week.
Well, and then speaking for myself as someone who owns a small business, and what I noticed when I took over this business with my partner Brock was that with modernization of technology, stripping out some old ass shit like Quicken.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there you go, Dame. That's the reaction I was looking for. Quicken 2000.
Not Lotus 123.
Quicken 2005. And invoices made in Excel, and not accepting digital payments and stuff, and modernizing the business that I purchased. I'm able to do everything and more that I was doing before that would take me all fucking day, all week,
just the bookkeeping
to do. Yeah. And generally, unless I have other like physical stuff going on, I need to go out and handle a fire, I need to build something or whatever, generally me and Brock are able to handle everything that needs to be handled by like noon or 1. And it's like, all right, we need to go someplace, we got a call, all right, we're off at 1 or whatever,
right?
And it's weird. I'll be honest, I've been living that way for a year now. It's weird because it's like, as going back to the American thing, I feel lazy.
Like,
I feel lazy about it.
But your bottom line is good.
Yeah,
you've accomplished everything that you were.
My bottom line is better than it's ever been. That's the other thing,
right?
So it's like, okay, all right.
At the same time, like, did I do work today? I don't know if I did work today.
Yeah,
but you did.
Yeah,
you did.
Well,
you did the same amount of work you were doing before. You're just not doing all that extra busy work of the back end and bookkeeping that you used to have to do just to stay afloat.
Sure, I think there's something to be said about efficiency in everything, just from that own personal experience alone, and at the same time, since it is just me and Brock, last summer was the busiest fucking physical summer I've had in ages for work. We were going balls to the wall.
With COVID, everything had to be touchless.
We got a laptop so that we could do those very efficiency innovations that we finally got implemented, so that we could do that on the road because we didn't have time to be back at the office to do them.
Right.
And it's like, it's so weird because like I tell people that it's like one of those things that it's like it's simultaneously a blessing, because it's like on the one hand there are days where I can just fucking clock off at like 10 or whatever, but genuinely until stuff happens or until someone reads an email that I've sent or responded to a call, there's nothing left to do, but then at the same time there's other days where it's like, all right, well, like for example, like Monday, I know for a fact that I'm going to be working late on my wife's actual birthday on Monday, and she's well aware of it, I'll probably get back home maybe around 7 or something, and it's like, but that has to happen because, there's a place that's closed on a Monday and something has to get done, and it's a physical labor activity.
It's a logistics thing.
Yeah, it's a logistics thing. It just has to happen. I don't want to be working late at night. Nobody fucking does. But at the same time,
anyone on IT can understand that's like, I'm working till 12 o'clock at night tonight, not because the job took all day. It's because I couldn't start until everyone logged out.
Well, I'm sure Dame feels that since he is at IT.
Yeah. I've been there. I've done overnight updates where I walk out of the job as people are walking into the job.
Yeah. Fucking insane. Damn, we got really deep. Holy shit. Back down to the core of American problems.
So the life topic is covered. The gaming topic is covered. We've got what? Entertainment and...
Well, I mean, we haven't had Dame on the show for forever. And I actually do remember last time you were on the show, Dame, it came back to me because we did a spoiler cast for Last of Us Part 2. That was the last time you were on the show with me.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did. We did the shit out of that. It was like 4 hours or something. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, that game needed 4 hours, but that was like mentally draining.
Holy shit.
Literally, Tim, when I finished that game, I just laid back on the bed and was like, finally.
And also, like, goddamn, that game is so much longer than the first game. Holy shit.
I think what took me for a loop was that I literally played The Last of Us Part 1 right into Part 2 and just kept going. And I was like, oh my God, bro, I'm tapped out. I'm mentally tapped out.
Yeah, it's hard to be in that story for that long.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What have you been playing lately, Dame?
So I've been going through a number of games, trying to go back and forth. I just finished The Artful Escape.
Okay.
I fucking love that game. Love that game. The music is incredible.
Okay. I actually don't know what this game is. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
So it's published by Annapurna.
Okay.
And I forget the name of the developer that worked on the game, but it deals with this kid who from the town of Calypso.
Okay.
And he's a folk player, but he's living up to the legend of who his uncle was.
Okay.
And so he goes through, at the beginning, he goes through this, even throughout the game, he goes through this journey of him doubting himself, because on one half, he doesn't want to not live up to his uncle's legend.
Sure.
Who was a legendary folk player. But on the other hand, he wants to do other genres of music. He loves rock music, and he's really fucking good at guitar.
Okay.
And
interesting story stakes that also sound surprisingly similar to Disney Pixar's Coco.
Mm-hmm. in the realm.
Okay.
It's like the most beautiful psychedelic, because it's psychedelic as fuck. It's like psychedelic to the point where I'm playing it and I'm like, there's no way the people who worked on this game were fucking sober making this shit. It's no fucking way.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's like if you were either high or you just did acid and played that game, you would be tripped the fuck out.
Okay.
It's that type of game.
Wow.
But it, even down to the writing. Sometimes the writing is just it's dope, but the lingo is like, what the fuck are you saying? But I get it at the same time.
Yeah.
I get the message that they're trying to pull.
Yeah.
And it's a really dope game. Like I said, the music, I fucking love the music in that game.
So what type of game is it? What genre?
It is like a Oxenfree style. So it's a 2D scroller.
Okay.
2D scroller. It isn't like Oxenfree in a way that your choice, or like after party where your choices dictate the outcome of the game.
Yeah, and the choices are like really like, for lack of a better term, like live or alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Your choices in Art for Escape are just like dialogue options. They don't really dictate this because the story's already made for you. And it's going on this rail. But it's a really, really dope game. Short game, about 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. It's a really short game.
Okay.
You definitely play it in one quick setting. So I beat that, and I'm right now playing Horizon just for a refresher, over again, for a refresher, to get ready for Forbidden West. And that's on the PlayStation side. On the Game Pass side, I actually just got into the Gunk.
Oh, so I've been curious about that. I haven't read any reviews. I remember the E3 trailer. It was kind of interesting to me. So is it good? I guess
it is interesting. I'm only maybe about a couple hours in, maybe 2 or 3 hours in. Surprisingly, it's something about that game and just like unclogging the gunk and collecting materials is just very therapeutic. I don't know what it is.
So does that feel like Super Mario Sunshine, where you're cleaning up shit?
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. And it's a little puzzly.
Okay.
There's some puzzling in there, a little bit of platforming in there, but I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm only 3 hours in, so I don't really fully know what the whole storyline is.
Okay.
I got a good feeling that the writing is probably going to be really good.
Really?
Or
okay.
like a light humorous, because at the intro, you interact with one of the characters is a robot.
Okay.
Not as annoying as Claptrap, but he gives me Claptrap vibes.
Okay.
Feels. So like he's like Groot. He only has one line at this point that I know of. So when you interact with him, he's just like, "You got served," and he just goes on and does his duties, what he's supposed to do.
Okay.
And you can have an interactive conversation with him, and that's all he just says. "You got served," and it's hilarious.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm playing that on Game Pass, and so I was looking at other stuff on there too. Windjammers 2 just came out. I was looking at that. So I heard Windjammers was pretty fun.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at.
Really?
I haven't really got a chance to really indulge in games like I wanted to.
Sure.
With because I'm just trying to bully my way through the backlog. Like in the past, what is this? January from probably October, I went through from October to now I went through Ratchet and Clank, Kana, Ghost of Tsushima, Far Cry. Now I'm back on Horizon.
Okay. Jesus Christ, damn. Honestly, dude, I gotta applaud you because I know you got a girl now, but damn, I know how busy you are. How'd you make the time?
I have to ask myself questions like that too. Though. Like how I do on which makes Game Pass. Well, I love Game Pass so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes at work it gets extremely slow,
oh,
and sometimes I might be
doing the Nate thing.
A lot of downtime. Yeah, I got a lot of downtime. So I'll just fire up Game Pass on my phone, and that's how I got through Art for Escape, and that's how I'm playing the Gunk.
Oh, nice.
Well, I'm at work.
Okay, nice.
So when I get home, if I'm not with my girl, and I may be cleaning up in the house,
yeah,
and then I designate some time, and I'll sit down. Like I said, right now I'm playing Horizon, and I'm just bullying through it. So like,
yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, I didn't even get the key. I got Kiki Island unlocked. I didn't even play any of the DLC.
Damn.
Far Cry 6, I didn't play as many side stories as I wanted to because I just wanted to get through the story.
Damn.
And it is okay, cool.
So you're playing video games like an old video game reviewer with a deadline.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
That's exactly how it is. With the deadline.
Oh my god. So then that begs the question. So with that type of dare I say,
frenetic pace.
I was going to say, dare I say, manic bullishness. Are you still enjoying yourself?
I am. I am enjoying myself. I wish there was, more time I can dedicate to certain games, because I get this OCD-ness in certain games where, especially if I am engaged with it, I would do my damnness to platinum or 100% it. Like, with the exception of like Ubisoft games, like fuck, I would never play. It's just their games are just too massive.
Sure, I hear Far Cry 6 is just ginormous.
Obnoxiously huge, yo. Like, it's obnoxious. Like when you play the like any Far Cry game, you get the training island, and then it expands you out to all of it. So as soon as you get off the training island, it's like 7-8 major islands of Yara, and I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna fucking make it through. And so so I just went straight storyline.
I mean, so that begs the question on open world stuff. Horizon Zero Dawn, 35, maybe 60 hours to complete everything. Pretty big. Yeah. Pretty damn big.
Well, I feel like by the time I get there, I'm gonna calm down, take my time.
But do you think Horizon 2 will have double the content just because it's a sequel? Double the play space, double the content?
I think it would be at least.
I think so.
That size. Yeah, I think it'll be at least that size. I think they've learned from what they did in Horizon, because I've seen and it's funny because when I went back and played it, I was like, okay, I do remember me, having a little bit of gripes about like the one-to-one interaction with Aloy and the NPCs, and it's like this stiff pause.
Sure, they didn't have mocap,
and then they talk.
Fucking
they didn't
weird.
Have mocap, and it's like okay. And I remember me saying something about that when it first launched. I'm like, oh, they gotta fix this. Yeah. So you definitely see that in Horizon 2 from what they show. Even like the fight scene when she.
Yeah, because they mocapped everything for Horizon.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's probably the big difference for sure.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a decent sized game. I'm planning on taking my time there.
Yeah.
Because at that point in time I can play catch up. There really isn't anything big coming along until, because I'm not hyped about Elden Ring. That's not my type of game. So Elden Ring,
I don't care.
I don't really care for Elden Ring. So like, sorry, I definitely want to play Sifu, and I feel like I might bully through Sifu as well.
Sifu looks interesting as fuck.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that game.
Yeah,
can't wait for that game.
Looks great.
So I'm gonna try to hurry up and finish Horizon by this week.
That's insane. What the fuck?
I'm already 49% in.
This is not human.
Just said it's like a 35 to 60 hour game if you want to do all this shit.
I'm 49% in. I'm 49% in.
Didn't you just start it 2 days ago?
I started it. When did I start it? No, I started it maybe like last Thursday.
Thursday. What the fuck, Dame? What the fuck?
Yeah. And that gave.
All right, shut this man up. Shut this man up.
But see, in that one, I am playing some of the story missions, because spoilers, if whoever's listening to this, if they haven't played Horizon,
game came out in 2017. It's okay.
Yeah, if you haven't played it by now, like, close your ears. But because in the side missions, if you do the right side missions, they help you. At the final.
I know.
So I don't want to like fucking struggle through it, even though I got the armored suit that Aloy wears, the bonus suit. If you do
the bonus suit is almost a must, for sure.
Yeah. So sure. I got that, but I don't feel like having a 10-minute long battle with that boss. So I'm doing the right side missions too.
Fair enough. Nate, what you been playing? Because Dame came out with like a wrecking train with this shit.
Wordle.
Playing Wordle?
Wordle.
How is it?
It's fun.
I don't even know what it is. It's like a crossword
It's the
puzzle.
It's the word game craze that's sweeping the nation right now.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that.
What the fuck?
It is stupid simple, and like I got my wife's now addicted to it.
Okay.
It's
I've seen
so
your
one
tweets,
puzzle
and
a
I'm just
day.
like, I feel like they're speaking code. They're speaking some fucking weird ass code, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's horse shit, and I don't like it.
The tweet I put out the other day was her posting her Wordle solve and me giving her the nice thumbs up gif. Right.
The fuck?
That was for people that are playing it. If you know, you know.
I don't know, and I hate it.
The thing I love about it is, it's you can cheat. It doesn't matter. But if you solve it, you solve it. There's no score attached to it. There's nothing competitive about it.
Okay.
If you happen to miss a day, it doesn't screw up your streak.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the one thing that I've been able to with again, end of month. We've been going through some major crunch. It's the one game I've been able to pop out on my smoke break and go, all right, open it up, give it a solve. If I get through one or two guesses, then close it up, come back to it later, take another crack at it. And
Gosh.
Right.
That's it?
Don't overthink
That's it?
something.
Just Wordle?
You can make it successful, huh?
That's it? Just Wordle?
Just Wordle.
Okay, cool. Well, I only got 2 for myself this week. I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege Extraction with my Rainbow Six boys.
How is that?
So, it's awesome if you like Rainbow Six Siege, is what I'll say. If you don't like Rainbow Six Siege, you're going to have such a fucking difficulty curve. Because, it's literally made on the same engine. You're using the same fucking operators. You're using the same fucking controls. It looks the same. But I think the secret hidden thing about it is it's actually a fucking stealth game. And I was like, oh, interesting. I did not expect that at all. When all the videos are like, fucking aliens, monsters, and fucking shit. The game is punishingly hard in a fun way, if that makes any sense. Because like Rainbow Six is already like, it's hard. It's, one hit kill. It's, realistic damage, all that shit. And it's like, this is hard in a completely different way. So you have levels for your operators, and you have like a universal like rank level thing. But if you fuck up a mission, you get negative points. You can go level 5, and then you fuck up the next mission, you're level 4 again, bitch.
Wow.
And not only do you fuck up, but if you fuck up enough and you lose, so you can lose your operator and a level. Like they get taken by, they call them the Archeans with the weird A that's backwards with another A. What the fuck ever. I don't give a fuck. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. Don't care. If we're at Rainbow Six with aliens, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Is the game good? Yes, the game is very good. So if you fall in a mission, they are captured by the bad aliens. And in that
like old school Rainbow Six.
And in that specific level, you have to go back and make it to every level has 3 phases or stages, so to speak. So the levels are layered. So think of it like this is a stupid abstract simplification of the game, but think of it like a 3-story building every level. You do the first level, you get to an airlock, with a little bit of rest, you punch out, go to the airlock, move on until you're at the 3rd level, and your op is usually at the 3rd level, and so you would have to go in with a different operator or a different playable character. Sorry, it's Rainbow Six speak, folks. And rescue that dude, and any health damage that occurs to your character, health is almost like a currency, because it's persistent from level to level.
Okay.
And the only
so you don't regain.
nope.
You don't regain the health.
You get fucked up. You walk out of a mission with 1 HP. That bitch is gonna have 1 HP next level.
Damn.
Only way to get HP is to put your op into rest, or they enter an injure state where you have them in your roster, but they out for a couple of missions. And if you succeed, you get XP and actually health points are, like I said, it's a currency when you successfully complete ops or missions well. And so the stages are the same every time, but the objective is randomized for the 3 levels, so to speak, for each stage. And then every once in a while, they will throw you 2 huge curveballs. Like different levels get like these mutation rates, and so there's basically a dice roll of whether or not you get mutated stuff. So basically, think of like the burns in Destiny, or mods or something like that. And sometimes they're just absolute pains in the ass in like a fun, challenging way. So for example, in this game, they have like black goo that crawls on the ground towards you. And normally in the game, it slows your movement. So it halves whatever your speed is. And there's a mutation of that where it's acid and it just burns your fucking health. So you're re-navigating the level like, fuck me, I gotta blow through this wall to get here because this fucking goo is everywhere. And there's just like a lot of different stuff. And the reason I say it's a stealth game is because you want to move, you actually want silencers in this Rainbow Six, and you want to move through stealthily and not alert the aliens, because if you alert the aliens, you're going to get swarmed. They're doing tons of damage to you. They can take you out super, super quickly because it's still Rainbow Six, so you don't want noticed. You don't want, it's still Rainbow Six, but it's the polar opposite of Siege, where it's like you go in guns a-blazing, quick as fuck, and tactically take them out. But, you're
right.
loud about it. This, you don't want to be loud. You don't want to throw that grenade. You don't want to jump through a window that has glass because you're going to break it. You're like, fuck, I alerted this bitch, And then every once in a while, you'll get a 4th stage where you go to a goddamn another dimension and fight a boss. And that boss will fuck you up. It was me, KB, and Kono. We fought our first one. Oh man, he had me killed. He killed Kono, and KB was fighting his ass off, and then fucking downed him. And it was like, oh shit, we lost our highest level operators. We lost all of our fucking shit. We're like, god damn, that was fucking rough. But I want to go again. It's good at
That's the Clancy games I remember.
Yeah.
Even though
it's Aliens, I would say it still feels like a Clancy game, which is kind of weird because Aliens again.
Again, we've talked about this playing like the old original OG Ghost Recons.
Yeah.
You did not run into a room.
Yep.
Right. You didn't stick your head out in a street.
Yeah.
So
the OG Rainbow Sixes, you had to actually plan out your strategic extraction and begin and end point.
Oh yeah.
And it's permadeath.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Permadeath too.
Yep. So Extraction's good. It's on Game Pass, and it has the best fucking crossplay I've ever experienced. Just saying, because I'm playing with my PlayStation boys on my Series X. Fantastic connection, fantastic in-game comms. I'm trying to get it. Fantastic. It's great. What was that, Nate?
I'm trying to get it.
Why do you say trying?
I can't get into my Ubisoft account for some stupid reason.
Oh. Well, I mean, that is, that's an Ubisoft wrinkle. I can't help you with that one. So I've been playing Rainbow Six Extraction. And then, interestingly, we all know I've talked a lot about how much I love Astroneer. Astroneer launched on the Switch, and I bought it to support the studio because I love Astroneer, and also Seattle local. But also because Astroneer is a game that made the original Xbox One to its knees from its performance standpoint, because of procedural generation and how fast the terrain changes in that game, because it's a survival space fun simulation thing with on purpose high resolution vertex style, not textured graphics, like this retro kind of look to it. But it had, like fancy lighting and, space dynamics and all this sort of stuff. And it runs in Unreal Engine 4, but this particular kind of game brought the OG Xbox to its knees. And most PC systems for that matter. So it's just kind of like, what do you mean it's on Switch natively?
Right.
What do you mean? And so it boggles my mind because that shit runs amazing on Switch. Fucking 1080p, 30 frames a second, but I'll fucking take it. Like the fact that it's 1080p on a Switch with half the RAM, because this is a RAM intensive game, mind you. I don't understand. It runs really good. And I was the kind of idiot that I was like, all right, I'm going to boot up creative mode. I'm going to spawn 1 million dynamite to blow up a planet. And we're going to see if the Switch explodes. I'll take that risk. I'm curious. Didn't crash the game. Did drop my frames to 4 frames a second. But then that motherfucker recovered. And I was like, what? All right. So I've been playing a little bit of Astroneer again from the beginning. And it runs amazing on Switch, which as a day one early access person who'd been playing it on the OG Xbox all the way through better Xboxes, through PlayStation, to PC, back to Series X on the damn game that is very demanding. I don't understand what the fuck they did to get it to run, because they ported it themselves. I was like, what the fuck? So
we call that tech magic.
I guess, or they, I don't know, spent the last 4 years in secret optimizing the fuck out of their game. That's the only thing. It doesn't make any sense. It runs fantastic. It's super crisp. It runs great in handheld even, because usually those games take a huge hit. It just drops to 720p, but everything else is crisp. Frame rate's the same. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. This is so stupid how good this game runs on this weak console by comparison. So if anybody's on the fence for Astroneer, or if you want it for Switch, or a good game for your kids, bright, colorful, non-violent, space game, crafting, click shit together like Legos, runs amazing. Made a deal with the devil. Blows my mind. Like, it's the kind of thing where I'm just like, this is running so well on this. And Astroneer and No Man's Sky have a lot of similarities, particularly in the procedural generation department. My next thought is like,
oh, you stop it.
Put No Man.
Oh, you stop it.
Put No Man's Sky on the Switch. It's like the fucking Iron Man meme. Tony Stark built this in the fucking cave with a box of scraps. It's like, if fucking Astroneer can do it, No Man's Sky, get your ass on Switch. If the 14 guys in Seattle can fucking do it, the 14 guys in England can do it. Okay.
Oh man.
So I've been doing that. Not a lot though. My week's been kind of crazy, and I did cave yesterday, and I did get the new Pokemon Legend of Arceus.
God bless your soul.
I watched like 30 video reviews. People were giving it 9s, some people were giving it 7s. I know it runs like shit and looks like shit, but I was like, fuck me. And I had this conversation with the dude on Twitter yesterday, and I was like, I'm a lapsed Pokemon player. Last games I remember fondly were Gold and Silver, and then I did play the remake of Red and Blue on Switch, Let's Go Pikachu, which was identical to the Game Boy version except that it was 3D, warts and all, and that was fine, but it was identical, like I said. And I was like, oh man, a fucking open world Pokemon game with new shit. Fuck me. Do I buy it to say that I want to support this type of thing, even if it's not good and I don't enjoy it? I don't know. But I can't tell you anything about it because I haven't fucking played it, because I was gonna stream it today with my new capture card on my gaming PC, but I couldn't get it to fucking work. And actually, Nate was helping me with that before you jumped on the call. Damn. So, yeah. Hoping to play that. Or if not, I'm just going to be sad about it and not stream it and play it on my couch tomorrow.
So, remember when I told you that my brother-in-law bought a Switch?
Yeah.
For the kids?
Yeah, he's playing Pokemon on it right now.
Well, because we've linked everything up through a family account now, I see, and I'm the master holder.
Yeah, you see that stuff. I share mine.
Mm-hmm.
One of the odd benefits of Nintendo Switch Online family, you get 7 people.
I'm sitting on the couch and my brother-in-law disappears, and all of a sudden I see a pop-up on my phone from Nintendo. Pokemon Arcade installed on your Switch too. I'm like, for the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, fair enough.
So, I might have to install it on my Switch here because
yeah,
I have to make sure, I have to check and make sure it's appropriate for the children.
I mean, it should be. There's no fucking voice acting in it. It still looks like ass Pokemon game, so sure, why not?
See, the last one I played was Y.
What was that? Was that DS?
Oh, 3DS.
3DS. Good lord, man.
Yeah, man.
You stuck with it that long?
No, I just for whatever reason I had an urge just to play a Pokemon game, and that was the one that was out.
Okay.
Because I had a 3DS. I originally only bought the 3DS because I wanted the Virtual Console.
Yeah, it's got a pretty solid Virtual Console, especially for handhelds.
Yeah.
Since it's got the handheld.
That's literally what I bought it for. I wanted to play Super Metroid, Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros. 3, shit like that.
Also, secretly the best thing for old Game Boy games and Game Gear games. I have all my old Game Gear games on my 3DS, which is.
I found my old my T2 Terminator cartridge for Game Gear.
Fuck that game, dude! I remember that game so well. Fuck that game, but also the memories. I'm torn.
That game was so ruthless.
Holy shit!
That one was ruthless.
Dude,
the X-Men one was pretty ruthless.
It would boot you back to the start menu, take your lunch money, and then tell you to sell the game, only for the game to somehow wind up back in your collection because you bought it out of shame. and it was so ruthless. And then they're like, "Oh, you think that was ruthless? We'll do you one better. Terminator versus RoboCop. Fucking come at me, bitch."
I didn't even try with that game.
Dude, fucking holy shit. So hard.
Yeah, bro.
It's ridiculous.
Memories.
Oh my god. Do we have anything else? I mean, we're probably out of time. I mean, poor Dame. It's almost 3 for him.
Right. Is it?
Yeah, we've been at this for 2 hours and 54 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like my girl said, she's probably asleep. She's knocked out.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure she is.
When you saw me disappear earlier, I had to make sure my wife was actually in bed, and she was she was passed out on the couch with the neck cricked over. I'm like, go to bed. She goes, I am in bed. I'm like, no, you're on the couch, and you're gonna hate yourself in the morning. Go to bed.
Yep. Can't get those cricks in those necks, man. After a certain age, it's just like, nope, you can't sleep anywhere. It doesn't work anymore.
I'm pretty sure my girl is knocked out. Same thing. Like she laid out on the couch last night. It was like pulling teeth to get her up. we gotta go to bed. We gotta go to bed.
She's, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm in bed.
It was like that so tired the sleep talk mumbleness, like in the in between world of dream and real world. It's like nothing makes sense to what they're saying.
Right.
I was just like, yeah, we gotta go to bed.
Apparently, my shining moment on that one is I love cabbage.
What? I love cabbage.
I love cabbage.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I guess we'll have to get to other technology and entertainment and stuff on another show, Nate. Unless there's anything burning a hole in your heart.
No, not really.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I want to get, because I still got to process this and see if I can't get your thing working tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I got foosball, yay, sports ball tomorrow.
All I'm looking forward to is the trailer for the Halo TV series.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it's during the game that I'm watching. So
Yep. You give me a text when it happens, and then I'll go to YouTube because it'll be online the next second.
Right.
As soon as the commercial cuts off, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
They had a little GIF teaser of it on Twitter, and I was like, that looks sexy.
Have you guys watched the Cuphead?
Oh yeah, I did see the trailer for that. I was like, God damn, that looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was interesting to note that the episodes are like 10 minutes long. So they're doing it like the old, like you know what it's trying to be, the old Looney Tunes and stuff, where it's the short form. I was like, that's pretty awesome, actually. So
that game is art that happens to be fun.
Oh my gosh! Like when they first unveiled that game, I was like, "It's so fucking dope." I remember that E3.
Oh man, that fucking their animation's off the charts.
Yeah,
like it's probably what Cuphead, and then maybe the most recent Rayman games with the Ubi art engine, because those are some fucking gorgeous games, let me tell you. So, well, all right. We have come to the end of another episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast.
A very special Fork in Your podcast with the
Fork in Your podcast.
Dame himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Fork in Your podcast. Fork in Your podcast.
A Fork in Your cast.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, this was fun.
Yeah, it's always fun with you, man. What are you talking about?
It's always fun.
It's always the best. I hear
how
how excited you get, man. Not only do I hear it, I see it spiking the level. Always a pleasure, as always, Dame, to have you on the show.
Appreciate that. Always a pleasure being on the show.
Anytime, man. Anytime at all. All right. Do you have anything to pimp, Dame?
I'm back on Twitter more.
Okay.
I'm trying to get back on Twitter more. So you find me on Twitter at Recognize Me, M3.
Okay.
With me. I am eventually going to get back into streaming. It's in an under construction phase because I want to redo my whole handle, upgrade more pieces with my rig. Want to get a better mic, better camera.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't have a better mic. Blows my mind.
I mean, I have a decent mic. A decent Rode mic. But
you gonna go analog or digital with that mic?
I'm gonna go digital. We in the studio that I'm at, we have Slade mic, which I think is fucking phenomenal.
Okay.
And Slade mic has over 50, 60 different plugins. You can literally mix and get the exact sound that you want in any setting.
Sure.
So if you want a little reverb on there or like any style setting. But so I kind of want one of those mics.
Sure.
We'll see though, because I might just go with call it a day, go with a Blue Yeti, and like I said, call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak anywhere to the quality of Blue mics at all.
Mm-hmm.
Only
Blue mic's solid. Super solid.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm over here on a road.
and I like my road. Yeah, like I said, I like my road too.
Yeah.
I like my road too.
I'm saying that with my Blue Yeti, with because I actually just upgraded to the fucking radius arm finally after years of recording on this microphone. Yeah, blues are always good.
We won't hear any spring noises anymore.
Yeah, no more spring noises. There actually haven't been spring noises since I moved. What it is it was a fucking what is this? It's a Pro line. It's just a basic bitch ass fucking mic stand that's had some holes drilled into it because the fucking the rotator clamps don't fucking work anymore.
Right.
And I finally got don't you fucking roll away from me, microphone. I see you. so I got that. Got the game PC. Got this new HD streamer cam. Got this fucking capture card. Trying to
You're gonna make them legit.
Yeah, come hell or high water, or me smashing this fucking capture card that I tried all day to get working. Like I literally didn't play the Pokemon game that I just bought because I was like, oh, I'll just pop it in and I'll do a test stream with it. It'll be easy. I'm good with technology. Fuck you.
Nope.
What pisses me off is like I have a Razer cam, right? And then I have the Razer capture card. And the cam works flawlessly on the Mac and PC. And this capture card, I mean, I get the power light to come on. I get it to be recognized by Windows, but I don't know. Well,
gotta go Elgato, bro. Elgato, bro.
Hey, it wasn't my call. It was a Christmas gift from friend and frequent guest on the show, Killer Cow, aka Daniel, and our one and only Discord mod. So,
well, the only one who's that's his only job.
Yes, it's his only job besides being in the Air Force and being a father. And
no, in the Discord.
Oh, yes.
We have other mods. We have other jobs in the Discord.
Are you trying to get me to call you a mod to throw you a bone?
No, I'm the antivirus, remember?
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Yeah, most always author podcaster Tim K. Trotter signing off. You can find all my shit at, as Nate waits to see whether or not I say 3 or 1 W's, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction, at Dynamicworksproductions.com. You can find links to our Discord there as well. We're available on all kinds of services. We're on Spotify. We don't care that Joe Rogan's on it. We're on we're on some Indian podcast service. I forget what it's fucking called. Our Indian listener and Discord member is probably shouting at his phone right now that I forget what it's fucking called. It's like Weebelo or Wubelo or something with something with a W, and it's yellow. Not that that's like a racist thing, but logo, it's yellow. I'm trying to remember what it is. Just to clarify, just to cover my ass, okay? Yeah, that's me. And then
it's about to be the Shovel in Your Grave podcast.
About to be the Shovel in Your Grave podcast. Okay, fair enough. And Nate, why don't you sign off and bring this shit to a close?
Oh, you actually want people to find me? You can find me on the interwebs. I don't
really care, but if you want to.
You can find me in the Discord under Nate Fu. You can find me on the Twitterverse at GG Nate Fu, because the other Nate Fu is too nice a guy for me to be an asshole to.
I
and you can find me on Twitch. Yeah. No, he had the name and someone mistagged me, and he's actually very nice when someone mistags me to send me a DM and go, I think this belongs to you.
I got you.
So, yeah, like I can't be mad at him. He already told me, like, first dibs if I ever decide to get rid of the account, but not likely.
Fair enough.
Like, cool. Fair enough. And then, yeah, you can find me on Twitch. Never. At Nate.
That's right, because you're not going to Twitch Wordle.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh my God, don't do it.
It's going to throw the metrics all over the place because it's going to be, a 12-minute stream?
Yeah, I guess. Best? Right? I don't know how fast the game is. I've never played it. You're sending me links here, trying to get me into this Wordle cult. I don't know.
Have the crack.
I don't know about it.
It's free. It's free. But yeah, and yeah, I'm going back to Graveyard, so you never know. I might actually pop on and stream here and there. But
okay. Well, I'll suffer through into the morning then with you if that does occur.
Sure. If I can ever get into my Ubisoft account so I can download this Rainbow Six game. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, sweet. That's it. That's the show. We out.
Bye.
Laters.
Yeah.
All right, bye, Dame. Thanks for joining, man, and suffering through for 3 fucking hours into your Sunday.
It's all good, man.
All right.
I'm off tomorrow. Do some cleaning, watch some football.
Fair enough.
Play some Horizon.
Yeah.
Who you got in the games?
I am taking the Chiefs. I would like to see the Chiefs and a Raiders. I'm sorry, Chiefs and a Rams Super Bowl. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs and I'm gonna take the Rams. Now I actually took Buffalo last week. I thought Buffalo was gonna steal that game and win and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I totally agree. Master Chief is the best.
Oh my God. Spartan.
You probably took the Titans too, right?
No, actually, because the Titans always choke then. They always choke in the playoffs for whatever reason.
Well, you can't take the Titans, Dave, because you're a hunter.
That's true. I am a hunter.
Oh no, it's late night now for the West Coast. I'm making terrible fucking gaming jokes now about sports.
I used to main a Titan up until House of Wolves.
I don't believe you, man. You were always a hunter, man. Fuck you. We rolled together. You were a hunter every single game we played.
I used to main a Titan. I'm gonna tell you, when Destiny Alpha came out, I played a Titan because when they showed it at E3, they showed the Titan and the Titan Smash. And I was like, damn, that's fucking awesome. I want to do that shit. So in the Alpha, I played as a Titan. In the Beta, I played as a Titan. And when the game launched officially, Vanilla, I played as a Titan. All the way to House of Wolves.
Okay.
And because the meta was different and I started to get more serious in PvP, and Titan skating wasn't a thing then.
Right.
Blinking and shotgunning was a thing. And the only way to compete with that is to blink and shotgun. So I picked up the Hunter, and Trials was a thing.
Yep.
And midway through the meta change, and people complained about Blink, and so they nerfed Blink, and that's when I got really good at sniping. And from there, went from there. And never looked back. I've been a hunter ever since.
What the hell just happened, Tim?
Oh, yeah. So it's midnight, so my lights are programmed to turn off. And then my mini fridge just behind me that I turn off for the recording, I finally got a Wi-Fi plug on it, and so it just kicked back on because of all the times you forgot to tell me to plug my fridge back in, Nate. And then I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be like, oh, fuck, wife's gonna kill me. The ice cream's fucking melted. Son, bitch.
Oh, shit.
You had one job, co-host Nate. You had one job. All right, Dan, go get some sleep, man.
Yeah, man. I'm going to pull my girl off this couch and go to bed.
All right, man.
All right, fellas.
Sounds good. Peace out.
Peace. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
Armado, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival, by author Tim K. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Rolling. There, I do not have my logic up.
Okay. And I am rolling. Flux capacitor is fluxing. What is this fireworks show you have going on in the background?
The fireworks show?
Other shoulder.
Oh, that'd be the TV, and that's just whatever screensaver.
No, the other shoulder. Over the other shoulder.
Oh, that?
Yes.
That is a chroma rotating. It's the diagram of the Starship Enterprise.
No, underneath that. That looks like an old Winamp plugin.
Oh! That would be the Black Desert mobile game that I have running on 3 different accounts, including my wife's iPad, my old iPhone.
Is it currently farming?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, what I don't have... Okay, I do need to get logic up.
What? Oh. My wife just sent me a picture of the 2 girls laying in bed with a message that says, "Right now, my house is a mess. I don't think anyone has clean underwear. I'm so behind on work, and yet my life is perfect."
Well, fair enough.
It's a great picture of the girls.
Toss it over.
Ding.
Why don't I have... So last time, I had a separate window of volume unit meters going for the audio hijack, which was helpful. It shows it being piped in the thing.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. I've used the program twice. Okay. Calm down.
I'm calm. I am very calm. Chat. Let's see. Is this how I add a file?
Can you hear yourself coming through my headphones?
I cannot.
Okay, very good. How's the background? Because one big thing
There is next to none.
We've now removed the monstrosity thing. Jenna, where is it? This.
What? Okay.
It's a thing. I always had it on this mic. How I had.
Gotcha. I'm only a little seasick now.
All right. This good? You want more mic?
No, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Do you see what you're working with here? Do you have me? Right?
I have you with your ridiculous chroma keyed hair that makes it look like you're maybe riding a dune buggy and your hair is flapping in the breeze.
No, that's just my hair.
Oh, please tell me that's the legendary symbol on the back of your chair.
Oh, it very much is.
My people. Well, I have this next to me. I can show that.
Where's Dame? Is Dame like...
I don't know where Dame.
That's the Lego, right?
Well, Megabox. But yeah, just as good nowadays as it would seem. A little chunk of the halo ring there. That's good.
Hey, good people.
Hey there.
Hey.
Oh, he's back.
What's going on? He's back.
I'm back.
You're good. We're still setting up a couple of things. Where the fuck?
Still hear background chatter?
Yeah.
It sounds like whatever's on your end is doing some noise cancellation, so it's better, but not awesome.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Hi, wifey. You gonna do work? That's fine. Just means we can't talk bad about you.
Why did the computer just... Why did the gaming computer
She's like, oh, I'll go play video games. No, go ahead and work.
See?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, Nate, the gaming computer just turned back on. What are you doing, gaming computer?
What's that, hon?
Fucking turn on.
It's quitting time.
You mean the one with this picture in it? Yeah, the one that I shared with the group. Love you too.
Computer.
All right, Dame, do you have anyone that's going to come in and give you kisses on the cheek before we do this?
Oh, I did that before I got on. That's what took me so long.
Ah. Oh, you did more than a kiss on the cheek. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
She's upstairs. She's doing some documents. And
You married yet, or?
No.
That's why you're doing that. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Have you guys met each other before?
Mm-mm.
On the show?
No, not on the show. I know we watched.
Oh yeah. We did the Game Awards together.
Yes.
Impromptu. Yeah, that was fun.
Dude, you got to get on Twitter Spaces, man. Jeff Keighley did a space a couple nights ago. It was really good.
So I feel old. What the fuck is Twitter Spaces? I don't.
It's like live streaming while you're on Twitter.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's literally like Clubhouse. If you ever seen how Clubhouse works, and basically like what he said, live streaming on Twitch, a bunch of people in a certain room, and it's kind of it's pretty convenient if you want to do something right there on the fly, but you can also plan ahead and have like a week in advance or a few days in advance Twitter Space and have a bunch of people come in. And
Is that like that thing they tried on Discord that they kind of got rid of like a couple years ago?
Well, they brought back the stages.
Some shit like that, whatever it was.
But yeah, like someone goes live and it just pops up on the top of your Twitter and you're just like, oh, join in on this. And yeah, it's kind of cool. I popped in on a few things.
Yeah, it's really cool because it makes people like the Jeff Keighley's of the world feel more tangible because you're in the room with them,
right.
Like you can kind of you kind of talk to them and too as well. So it's like it gives the illusion.
Man, we all know you can't talk to elusive famous Canadians. That's not how this fucking show works.
He had it was funny. He had a few people in the room that were like big fans of him that probably would never in their life meet him in person and got a chance to talk to him. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh god.
Why?
There we
Hearing
go.
an echo for myself, and the neighbor's dog just started barking.
Because of course he did.
Fuck.
Oh, there he goes on cue.
Oh, I know what I need to do. I needed to mute myself on Logic. Okay, there we go. All right, Logic is a rolling.
All right, I got 8 minutes of B-roll intro footage for you.
Cool.
I love cutting on Logic. It's really good. We cut on Logic.
I mean,
like
Logic's the shit.
only one of my engineers cuts out of Pro Tools. Everyone else cuts out of Logic.
Because why overspend?
When I was a fucking just barely over 20, and I was in a literal garage band with some friends, and then one of the guy's dads is a famous guitar shop maker, and his buddy is a Grammy Award-winning recording artist. And we went to his studio on Lake Washington, and he had fucking everything in there, man. He had the Reed pencil microphone that ABBA recorded on.
Damn.
I was like, oh Jesus, I'm way up. Yeah. But he was such a totally down to earth, chill dude. And
that's usually they are.
Yep. Yeah, And I'd asked him because I wasn't quite into Logic at that time. We were fucking around with GarageBand, and he was using Pro Tools, and he had one of those big ass fucking. This was like a fucking decade plus ago. Big ass Tower Max, and I was like, so should I learn Logic? And he's like, I've spent like $180,000 on upgrades for Pro Tools. Logic gives you everything. Yes, I would learn Logic, dude. I was like, okay, you don't have to tell me twice.
A lot of people like Pro Tools because it gives you that quote unquote industry sounding song.
Yeah, you can get that on Logic if you know what
you can definitely get that on Logic if you know what you're doing. Right. And like a friend of mine, we were talking Wednesday or Thursday. His son is also an engineer,
Okay.
They just fucking bought Elton John's old studio, bro.
Oh shit.
I said, damn, bro. Like, you said, state of the fucking art. I was like, shit, I gotta go down and see that shit.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I just remembered his name. The recording artist is Gary Shelton.
Oh shit. Multi-Grammy Award winner. That was Grammy, multi-Grammy Award.
Yeah, that dude.
Damn.
Nice guy. Yeah, no, he had the whole full, with the micro switches. So, if you moved the knob, it moved in the Pro Tools. You moved the Pro Tools, the physical knob moved. Like,
Servoed boards.
It was the shit.
Yeah.
Like now, because technology has advanced,
mm-hmm.
like to have a board like that, you kind of don't need it. But if you have it in there, it's almost like for show now because you can do so much other stuff. Like literally, it's digitized, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, and now you don't need a beefcake computer to run Logic. Like I'm running it on an M1 here.
That's what we run it off of M1.
It's never run
so good.
It's
fucking clean, man. We run on an M1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We actually got rid of our old tower. I mean, we still have it somewhere.
Yeah.
But we backed up all those songs off of the old tower and just like it's somewhere collecting dust because we just run everything off the M1.
Yeah, it's impressive. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it's impressive that it's so smooth because I went from a 32 gig MacBook down to an 8 gig Mac Mini, and I was worried, man. And it doesn't give a fuck.
They're like, we're gonna burn through this too,
Yeah, we're just gonna do it. Oh, you want that exported? No, it's already done.
Exactly. Pinwheel of death is no more.
Oh God.
All right.
Oh my God.
My audio hijack is running. Logic is running. Backup on Skype is running.
My copy is running.
I got all your stuff. You're a little fuzzy now, Mike. Or Nate.
I'm a little fuzzy. Hold on. We good?
Yep.
That's it.
Whatever you just knob adjusted there. There you go.
Yep.
All
right. You ready to do this shit, Dame?
Let's do this, man. It's been too long.
Time.
Too long. It's been too long, man.
All right.
Countdown and a cut in?
Yep. Here we go. In 5 or 3? You're doing 3? Okay, fine. 2, 1. Which fucking is it, Nate? Jesus.
3, 2, 1.
1.
Cut in.